good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music. Talk. Inspiration. In perspective.
Express yourself.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
without your consent. So imagine me letting go of my past and glad I have another chance. My heart will dance. Incredible benefits of Excellion from Total Energies. The additive and rich fuel with its powerful 3-in-1 action. It cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. It has anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption and reduces CO2 emissions. This is fantastic from Total. And visit any branch of Fidelity Bank and start sending money across the continent instantly, securely, and affordably to Nigeria, the Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone with the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System. Don't wait for days for your money to clear. Pops it like nobody's. Franklin, for this beautiful reminder of our freedom, our true freedom, is in letting go of what we've held on to our hearts.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest. We understand the excitement of preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a quick and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
One or so. We were in Bolgatanga.
Yeah. Ministering.
No. I was a student. Went to Fountain Gate Church.
Allah.
And the choir sang this song. Fountain Gate Church in Bolgatanga. That's why I heard this song. I still remember.
Good morning, Boga.
No, this was East Anabas Church.
Yeah, Bolligan.
Yeah, I was a level 100 student. The song is a powerful song.
You were soaking it.
And 23 years later, it's still very powerful. Okay, frankly, be champion guy. And this morning, Richard Sky and Nathan Kwao have both decided to give themselves haircuts. They've you know, I think after the budget, they have helped themselves to smooth haircut. You know, haircut on the left and the right. But you know, when a man can cut his hair to fit the natural shape of his face, it means he's very confident in his looks. Let me repeat that for purposes. When a man can cut his hair to fit the natural contours of his face, it means he's very confident. Because not everybody can remove everything and still look okay. That's right. But the way the two of you have done it, it means that you are confident in your looks. That the head God gave you, you don't want to reshape it. No. So you clear all the hair and you are still on point. So this morning I want to greet your respective wives. No, I just want to greet your respective wives and say no, they've done something very good. So good morning to Naira and to Gina. No, for Charlie, for you know,
managing the system.
No, I tell you, Charlie, it's powerful.
They be big people.
When they come and they are happy, it means the house is working.
When they come and they are long facing.
We have to institute a National Spouses Day for the Citi Breakfast Show, and then we'll give them awards. Collect Naira, collect Gina, collect all of you. You are working. When I become president, I'll pay spouses allowance. I'll pay, and it will be a very handsome percentage of your salary.
Thank you. So you have it off the man's salary.
I have it because some of the men they are bad.
And you put it in the escrow account.
Because some of you the men you pay to places that don't benefit. So one of my first.
That's the economy, Charlie.
35% of a man's salary is or a woman to their spouse for keeping the home safe. Otherwise, side chicks and things we can't collect and destroy our family.
Going to areas that do not bring any benefit.
I will damage the side chick economy. When the first week of my administration, I'll close down all side chick enterprises. First week. So all married women will vote for me. All the married women will vote for me. Because 35% of the man's salary straight into the woman's account. Yeah.
This table you are shaking.
No, it's serious though. It's a very serious thing I'm planning. It will shock you. I will win.
You win. They are in the majority anyway.
I'm sure somebody is thinking, Charlie, I did when fancy a manifesto. Then election. No,
that way you receive a delegation.
I don't. You fancy manifesto because I said. It makes sense.
I know they trust them. These people, they will be putting. Oh, I tell you, this is Ghana politics. They were saying that they take Putin.
Guys, let's to the newspaper, baby. The Daily Guy says this morning at Tamil's 12th memorial service, NDC family fight Anyidoho. Photograph of the late President John Atamils here on the front page. Also, Baumia can't debate Mahama. This is coming in from the minority whose leader is here on the front page. Again, we are reminded government delivers 1,000 homes to security agencies. Kojo Nkrumah is here, and the Supreme Court upholds law against unnatural canal knowledge.
The Ghanaian Times, appointment of justices to Court of Appeal. We need more judges nationwide. President to critics as he justifies swearing in 16 new judges. Yendi Municipal Assembly members brawl over presiding member election. And there's also the Atamils Memorial, or the memorial, 12 years since he passed. Atamils Memorial Heritage commemorates 12th anniversary of his passing. And on the back page of the Ghanaian Times, chiefs demand Kenya Shidiem Road fixed. And there's a picture of the road and its current state. It's not looking good at all.
Let me take you to the Daybreak newspaper. Mayhem over police houses. Also, Napo storms traditional Accra for votes. Again, Akufo-Addo, what do you call it? Koku Anyidoho clashes with Mills' sister. Akufo-Addo swears in Court of Appeal justices, and MPA sensitizes communities on CRM and related safety issues.
The New Finder says tourism rakes in $1.8 billion between January and June 2024. Dr. Amwa calls for patience amid economic improvements. Bena's best friend, Dr. Stephen Amwa, is here. The Balancing Act, intelligence agencies in modern economies, and reforming SNIT, a call for transformation in pension management. And there's a picture of Michael Harry-Yamson here on the front page of the New Finder.
The Anchor Rabotech Group, UMAT, to develop largest research mine. Initiative dedicated to teaching and training of universities students. Also, the story we brought you yesterday about the Fitiwe family rubbishing fraud claims against the ex-member of parliament for the Amasaman area. Again, we're told that Banka chiefs, youth charged over mining, community mining, issue ultimatum to government.
The Chronicle says Mahama must debate Baumia. Majority caucus says government is not afraid of its track record. And there's also Kojo Nkrumah saying that 1,000 homes have been built for security agencies since 2017. $60 million UHAS Phase 2 project ready after Akufo-Addo cut sword in 2021. All right.
And the BNFT says this morning, domestic bondholders paid some 12 billion Ghana cedis post DDEP. Again, banks at risk of cyber attacks following global software defect. And farmers feed males anxious over maize shortage. And then the GSE is leading African markets with some 39.95% YTD return.
Finally, for me, the business analyst, safeguarding cedi stability, continue to rebuild international reserves, IMF to BOJ. In line with that, Guta demands stable cedi. They are talking about the mid-year budget review. And recent financial sector cleanup expensive. That's an assertion that's coming from the World Bank. And the finance minister says assembly plants have produced 4,700 vehicles locally.
CitiNewsroom.com, justice for all, 12 persons discharged, 10 granted bail after years in custody without trial. Also, apologize to our MP of Faisal Roth, Sefiori also residents to Bagbin. Meanwhile, Asidun Kecha says we would adopt a different campaign strategy for election 2024. And then law against anal sex constitutional. Supreme Court declares. So the T people, you have to beware. We will deal with Anyidoho for tampering with Atta Mills' grave. This is his sister. And then minority invites Baumia to debate 2024 mid-year budget review. Those stories all on Citi. My journal online, significant progress made in CITAC talks with government, says Prinkoff president. Also, academic halt and tragic loss very disturbing teacher trainees association president on the CSAC strike. In other headlines, visa scandal, Norwegian embassy wasn't prudent. I can't take responsibility. Sports minister to critics. And then MPP in his present state is not attractive to me. This is Professor Frimpong Boateng commenting on the party that he is a member of. If you go to Star FM, MC urges leaders to disseminate emergency preparedness plan. VRA allays fears of spillage. So that story is still making the rounds. VRA's planned spillage under the canopy or under the microscope. Meanwhile, Bawumia would debate only presidential aspirants. This is the MPP to the minority. If you go to a few more websites, Class FM lead story, SC upholds constitutionality of law prohibiting unnatural carnal knowledge. So that's there for you. Meanwhile, Atta Mills was a selfless leader. Mahama eulogizes ex-boss at 12 year of remembrance. Everywhere else, Biden is speaking. They are talking about his handing over the torch. It's time to hand over to younger voices in his Oval Office address. This is France 24th headline. Washington Post says Biden passes the torch in somber speech. But the BBC says Biden sidesteps hard truths in his first speech since quitting the race.
Yep.
So they're fact-checking some of the things he said. Let's get into the details, gentlemen.
Okay, so shall we take off this morning with this story about Atta Mills' 12th memorial service? The NDC reportedly fighting with Koku Anyidoho, who we are told went there with a rented family. And now Ebenezer K. Amposa, writing for the Daily Guide this morning, says the National Democratic Congress NDC and the family of the late President John Evans Atta Mills yesterday clashed with the former Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Koku Anyidoho, over time schedule at the event to mark the 12th memorial service of the late president in Accra. Now, the event held at the Asumdwe Park near the Castle Gardens took a different turn when the former NDC General Secretary, Deputy General Secretary, exceeded the time agreed. So the time was 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to enable the family of the late President Atta Mills and the NDC to also hold their memorial service to mark the demise of the former president. Now, Koku Anyidoho was ushered from the event grounds by the swift intervention of security personnel in order to prevent further clashes between him and the members of the NDC and the late President Atta Mills' family. Present at the ceremony goes on to tell
Give
you
us
about
the details of who were there.
But the fact is that, this is getting embarrassing. Why should this be the case? Respect the memory of the person. The two sides. If it's Koku who is the problem, he's not a member of the family. So I wonder why all of these things are happening. I don't think that it is in the interest of our country for us to be embarrassing the late former president the way we are doing.
Yes,
he was
indeed.
a peaceful man. Let him rest in peace.
That is the
People
point.
who ought to have taken responsible decisions when he was not well did not do that.
Okay.
Now that the man is gone, you are using his name for all kinds of very irresponsible things. I think both sides should be ashamed of it.
But did you see it? Now,
Anyway.
let's come to Nathan.
Yes, the president is speaking on page 12. Sorry, of the Ghanaian Times. We need more judges nationwide, and the president has justified the appointment of the 16 new justices of the Court of Appeal, saying it is a direct response to the backlog of cases which has become a challenge to the court system and the establishment of new courts across the country. He said the backlog of cases had indeed become a burden that required urgent attention from the courts, and improving the number of judges was one of the very critical measures to deal with it. He said this when he swore in 16 newly appointed justices of the Court of Appeal at the Jubilee House in Accra on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, justice for all, 12 persons discharged, 10 granted bail after years in custody without trial. Story on citinewsroom.com says 12 individuals who were standing trial for alleged criminal acts, including murder, have been discharged after evidence suggesting that the state had been adamant in prosecuting their cases, or the state had been tardy. Some of these individuals who have been in custody for close to a decade have made no more than 4 appearances in court since their arrest. Can you imagine?
Wow.
10 years in custody, only 4 appearances in court. Underpinning Ghana's criminal justice system is the respect for human rights of suspects. In furtherance of this, Article 14 of Chapter 5 of the Constitution deals with human rights devoted to the rights of persons to personal liberty. So the law prohibits the deprivation of a person's liberties except under circumstances stated in Article 14. So that background is important because in an attempt to address this, the Judiciary initiated the Justice for All program, where hearings are held within selected prisons for selected inmates who fall within this bracket to provide them with a hearing. At the Nsawam Medium Security Prison, hearings were held for 24 inmates, out of which 12 were discharged, 10 were granted bail, and 2 were denied bail. And the list of the people are given for some of the crimes. I think this is a very important thing to do.
Yep.
We have over 13,000 prisoners. Our prisons are congested. Now, a 67-year-old man and a 51-year-old man were also discharged after spending 7 and 8 years, respectively, at Nsawam prison without active prosecution of their cases. Now, another inmate, Samalousu Ado, had been on remand for nearly 11 years for allegedly committing murder. However, state prosecutors had no evidence regarding the status of the case or details of his last court appearance.
This is unacceptable.
Kofi
It's an
Afun
embarrassment.
was charged with murder,
Shame.
had been on remand since 2018, despite the office of the AG advising that the accused be discharged. It's serious. Another Kwabna Nyakun, arrested in July 2016, had been on remand since then, although he was granted bail in 2017, set at 50,000 Ghana cedis. He could not meet the bail conditions, and therefore he's been in prison since 2016. Justice Kofi Akufu discharged the accused after hearing all these matters. I think this is very important. They should do more of this.
Exactly.
Because
And we
to
hope
stay in
that-
prison for 10 years, appear in court 4 times, no case against you, but you can't pay for your discharge. It's
Yeah.
really, really sad.
The state must pay heavy penalty for this kind of thing.
It's
There
very
should be
serious.
compensation
It's very, very
paid
serious.
for them.
Let's come to the Daily Guide.
Yeah, the Daily Guide has a story. Supreme Court upholds law against unnatural canal knowledge.
A lot of
Jibril.
legal cases today.
Yeah, Abdul Razak reporting says the Supreme Court has, in a unanimous decision, declared the law prohibiting a person from having unnatural canal knowledge with another person constitutional. Now, a panel of the court presided over by Justice Paul Bafoboni yesterday dismissed a writ filed by Dr. Prince Obiri Kuranteng, a lecturer of the University of Ghana Law School, challenging the constitutionality of the law banning unnatural carnal knowledge, including anal sex. Now, the plaintiff had argued that Section 104(1)(b) of the Criminal Offences Act of 1960, Act 29, breached certain articles of the 1992 Constitution, hence should be declared unconstitutional. Now, Section 104 of Act 29 defines unnatural carnal knowledge as sexual intercourse with a person in an unnatural manner or with an animal. Now, it states that a person who has unnatural carnal knowledge be of another person of not less than 16 years of age with the consent of that other person commits a misdemeanor. But yesterday, the Supreme Court held that the law is constitutional, and the reasons we would see in the full judgment when it becomes available.
If you go to page 2 of the Finder, tourism is featuring, and it says it has raked in $1.8 million or billion dollars, sorry, in the first half of 2024. Now, this is coming from the Finance Minister, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, and this marks an increase from 1.5 billion during the same period in 2023. This growth in the tourism sector is part of a broader strategy to position Ghana as a leading destination for international tourists, leveraging its rich cultural heritage and historical sites. And while delivering the mid-year budget review, the Finance Minister highlighted the rise in tourism arrivals from 500,000 in 2023 to nearly 600,000 in the first half of this year.
Gentlemen, there's a story that's pretty troubling. Armed robbers attack people. 2 government officials narrowly escaped death. Now, 2 district chiefs executives in Bono region narrowly escaped death, when they were caught in a robbery attack on the Fitintar portion of the Brekum-Drobo Highway in the Bono region. Now, GNA gathered that Andrew Bediakun, German South MCE, and Solomon Osu, German North DCE, were returning from a meeting in Sunyai to their districts when they chanced upon a group of armed robbers. Now, Mr. Bediakun said this occurred around 4:30 to 5 p.m. The fully armed robbers, about 5 in number, had targeted market women and traders who were returning from Drobo and Sampa to Brekum and Sunyai at the Fitintar portion of the stretch near the Fitintar refugee camp in Brekum West. They just appeared from the shoulder of the stretch, fired gunshots sporadically, and signaled us to stop. They even hit and broke my windscreen with lumber. Hey! However, we managed to speed off from the terrible scene. In the process, Mr. Bediakun said the engine of his vehicle, the vehicle of his colleague, broke down, but they all managed to escape the robbery scene unhurt. We quickly called the police and signaled all vehicles which were coming from the opposite direction. Sensing danger, the robbers fled into the bush. No arrests have been made so far. Charlie, serious matter. 4:30 p.m.
That's serious.
This is
DCs are in charge of RegSec and the DISEC. They should beef up security on those roads.
well. Just staying with local government. If you go to page 12 of the Ghanaian Times, it says members of the Yendi Municipal Assembly in the Northern Region were involved in a brawl yesterday.
Oh boy.
After failing for the 5th time to elect their presiding member. The chaos at a meeting attended by the 44 members erupted following the first round of voting when none of the candidates secured the required 2/3 majority needed to assume the role of the presiding member.
Okay, but now let me take you to the BNFT. Page 2 has a story. Farmers feed meals anxious over maize shortage. Bernard. Now, Wisdom Johnny Nwekwe reporting says the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has confirmed that the country's current shortage of maize has left feed mills and processors heavily relying on imports to meet the growing demand. There's a quote here that says, as we speak, there is no maize in the system. What we have produced in the last few seasons have entirely been consumed and there is no buffer. Now, consumers and processors now have to rely on imports from the Sahel regions to meet local demands. How can we be importing maize from areas where rain is even a problem?
I don't even understand. I don't even understand. So did they give any background in specific areas, how long this has gone on for?
Well, there's really not much.
So this is maize for feed?
Yeah,
this is not maize for normal human consumption?
Well, yeah, there's something like that.
So it's for poultry?
Mm-hmm. And it's, for instance, the story says Dr. Nyaba was commenting on the investment made in the planting for food and job policy by the government, and said the policy did not bring any positive impact on the production and supply of targeted crops. Then why did we invest so much money in it?
That's what he's saying.
Yes, the main objective.
At this point, so that doesn't mean that's the
now the association is worried that the price of maize on the local market is still skyrocketing, with a 50 kg bag of maize currently sold for 300 Ghana cedis and more at some locations.
Let me give you two sports stories. Visa scandal, Norwegian embassy wasn't prudent. I can't take responsibility. Sports minister to critics. This is Joy Online. Sports minister Mustafa Yusuf has criticized the Norwegian embassy in Ghana for failing to ensure due diligence in the application process for some Ghanaians who entered Norway under the guise of being Paralympic athletes. Now, this following reports that 9 out of an 11-member team of Ghanaian para-athletes went missing upon their arrival in Oslo for the Bergen Marathon this year. And the ministry is basically saying it was the lack of due diligence from the embassy that led to this faux pas. Meanwhile, some analysts are asking for the minister to take the fall for what happened. Now, another story here on the same website. MPP in its present state is not attractive to me, Professor Fempom Boateng is saying. Story by Ima Ankara says, former chairman of the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Professor Kwabena Fempom Boateng, has reaffirmed his affiliation with the MPP, though he expresses disillusionment with the party's current state. In an interview on Joy News Pulse, he indicated that the party as it stands now is not attractive to him. Okay. Quote, I subscribe to the ideas of the UP tradition. At the same time, we have to honor Nkrumah, who did so much for us. That's how I see politics. We belong to certain traditions for certain reasons, but that doesn't mean you should have to demonize your opponent. This is how I see it. But the MPP in its present configuration is not attractive to me, he said. Okay. Now, let's do a few more stories. I have a couple here for you before we go. MCE urges leaders to disseminate emergency preparedness plan as VRA prepares for spillages. Star FM. It says MC for Lower Manya Krobo Simon Kukutete has urged traditional and community leaders to actively share the details of the VRA emergency preparedness plan to ensure safety during the rainy season. He made the call while addressing leaders of the various groups and assemblies and electoral areas at the VRA's EPP sensitization held in Odumasi Krobo. You know, they are doing community engagements ahead of a planned spillage. And guess who was speaking for VRA?
Tell me.
Mr. Francis Aban.
Okay.
Formerly of Star FM. He's now the He's the manager of communications for the VRA. So manager for corporate communications and branding. Francis Aban indicated that there was no cause for worry as no decision had been taken by VRA to discharge water from the Akosombo Dam with precaution. So he's left Morning Star and is doing VRA matter.
Oh, I see. You know they do the morning show again. Charlie, there's transfer window open.
Sometimes the hungry child.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
up in the morning, and you know the money calling. Oh, you go work, but you know I'll be your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know I'll be your side. And when you dream, no say I live by you. And when you hustle every day, when you wanna grow, everything you do, I live for you. Fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I dey your side, fidelity.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News at 7 with Access Bank, MTN, and Goyle. She Cassis has the details. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle and Access Bank. My name is Nashika Caesar. Coming up, government justifies retaining COVID-19 levy despite fierce opposition from the business community for its repeal. Also coming up, Auditor General uncovers significant challenges with implementation of the Gold for Oil program. And later, Parliament ratifies 11 timber utilization contracts to enhance Ghana's continuous exports of timber resources to the European market. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. The government insists that a COVID-19 levy remains crucial for addressing the lingering financial impact of the pandemic, despite widespread calls from the business community for it to be scrapped off. Many businesses had argued that the tax, which was initially implemented to mitigate the financial impact of the pandemic, has outlived its usefulness and now poses a significant burden, making Ghana less attractive to investors. Despite these concerns, Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Abinose Asari, says although the immediate threat of COVID-19 has diminished, the financial impact of the pandemic are still being felt.
COVID is no more, but the impacts of COVID we still feel. There are so many things that we did during the COVID-19 pandemic that we are now having to take care of. And so, just like you stated, the BOG COVID-19 bonds, we started paying after 2021, I said 2021 or 2022. So the effects of COVID is still with us, and government is using that to address that money is being used to address part of the effects of COVID-19. COVID is gone, but the effects is still with us. We still have to pay for COVID-19 vaccines to build the immunities of our citizens. There are so many things that we did in COVID, during the COVID time, that we are still taking care of, respectfully, Mr. Chairman.
You had a Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Abinose Asari, speaking there. Moving on, the government has hinted of plans to reintroduce an integrated property tax system. The system will consolidate data from metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies and other relevant government agencies to create a comprehensive digital property record database. The initiative aims to revolutionize property data management. And we have more.
The Unified Platform for Property Rate Administration was first proposed in 2021 to help MMDAs efficiently collect property taxes nationwide. This initiative was driven by the challenges faced by MMDAs in property rate collection. During a recent media budget presentation, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam reiterated the government's commitment to developing a comprehensive digital property record database.
Government will reinstitute the integrated property tax system by synthesizing data from MMDAs, lands valuation, ECG, and other relevant government agencies to create a comprehensive digital property record database that will transform property data management and ensure a more efficient and accurate property tax system. Mr. Speaker, to enhance revenue mobilization by IGF-reliant covered entities, discussions will be held around provisions of incentives to those institutions that exceed their revenue target for the year.
Meanwhile, tax consultant Francis Timor-Boy has shared his reaction to the issue.
Let's make the district assemblies work. Whichever method we want to use, the property rate administration in Ghana should be one of our tax lines so that at least it can provide some funding for the district assemblies.
That was tax consultant Francis Timor-Boy, ending that report by Daniel Odru-Mensah. Moving on, the 2023 Auditor General's report has uncovered significant issues with implementation of the Gold for Oil program. The report highlighted the absence of a formal agreement between the Bank of Ghana BOG and the Precious Minerals Marketing Company PMMC, which was responsible for purchasing the gold. The government introduced the Gold for Oil policy in 2022 to address Ghana's decline in foreign currency reserves and the increasing demand for dollars by oil importers. However, the Auditor General noted in its statement that without a formal agreement, key terms of engagement such as fees or commissions paid to PMMC were not confirmed. In response, the BOG has explained that forex reserves came under pressure in 2022 due to a challenging macroeconomic environment.
One, it would have meant that the Bank of Ghana still would have to be looking for $4 billion a year in terms of helping to pay for the oil suppliers, international oil companies who bring in the products. So that then has an impact on exchange rate depreciation, because then now we are not having to put pressure on the currency. And then you know that goes through to inflation. And that goes through also the price of product, because by virtue of the competition, the structure of the program, you're seeing suppliers bring down their premium from about $140 to about $70. Premium has nearly been halved, the supplier puts on. So the premium component, which we have been able to use this program and competition to almost half, if that would have been added to the price of the commodity, we would have seen the price of fuel higher than we are seeing it currently. And that's the impact that the program is having.
That was the Minister of State at the Energy Ministry, Herbert Krapa, speaking there. Now, Parliament has ratified 11 timber utilization contracts, TUCs, marking a significant step toward legal and sustainable timber trade. The ratification enhances Ghana's continuous export of timber resources to the European market. The following report has more.
The 11 timber utilization contract forms part of the initial batch of 19 submitted for parliamentary approval and complies with Article 268 Clause 1 of the Constitution and Section 9 of the Timber Resources Management Act 1997, Act 547. With Parliament's approval, Ghana is now positioned to issue forest law enforcement, governance and trade licenses, enabling the export of timber and timber products to European market. This development places Ghana as the first country in Africa and second globally after Indonesia to issue these licenses, which are crucial for meeting European Union standards for timber trade. The ratification also fulfills obligations under the Voluntary Partnership Agreement with the EU, supporting efforts to combat deforestation and forest degradation while promoting environmental sustainability. The Lands and Natural Resources Ministry has meanwhile reiterated its dedication to maintaining the integrity and sustainability of Ghana's forest resources, ensuring that timber trade benefits all Ghanaians. This parliamentary approval concludes issuance processes of timber rights initiated by Cabinet on March 31st, 2022 under Section 19 of Act 547. It underscores Ghana's progress in legal timber trade, meeting EU requirements and enhancing the country's international trade profile.
That was a News Desk report. Now, some global vehicle assemblers in Ghana have cited high cost of borrowing as a significant hurdle for local consumers intending to purchase assembled vehicles. These assemblers added that although they envision a huge market, lack of financing opportunities turn interested consumers away. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Current Affairs program, The Point of View, hosted by Bernard Avle, the Managing Director and Country Manager for CFAO Mobility Ghana at Damola Adelabu urged government to create the needed financing opportunities to heighten consumption of assembled vehicles.
On one side, cost of borrowing. Very, very steep. It's GRR is about 29%, so bank lending rate is in excess of 30%. So that's quite steep if you're using a third, to really service loans. So that's one major one. Everybody likes definitely new things, so everybody wants to really acquire. But if that financing bit isn't fixed, it really becomes a problem. On the other side, people are only tuning into getting used vehicles. Just like a couple of people will want to go and buy used clothes, but they know that that's not the best for them. Talking in terms of environment and all whatnot, it's really not the best of place to be. So if financing is addressed on that side, and the government helps in really ramping up the key missing elements on that policy, like I said, that will drive more home consumption.
Adedamola Adebu is the MD and country manager for CFAO Mobility Ghana. On the forex market today, the dollar could be sold to you at 15 cedis 70 pesos. The British pound could be sold to you at 20 cedis 50 pesos, and the euro is going for 17 cedis 50 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Access Bank. My name is Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for spending your time with me. Do have a great business day.
Beautiful people, we are live in town, soaking in the excitement about the partnership between Access Bank and PABS, revolutionizing the way people move money across Africa. Let's hear directly from those reaping the benefits.
It's a relief. Anytime I send money back home, my family receives exactly what I send them, instantly.
I'm studying in Ghana, but originally from Nigeria. With this service, my parents send my school and hostel fees directly, and they do it with so much ease.
I run a fashion business. Let me tell you, sending and receiving money across Africa without those annoying forex fees has really cut down our operational costs.
Benefit from instant payments across Africa with zero foreign exchange hassle. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll free on 0800 004400 for all your cross-border payments.
Pass it with Access Bank.
Access Bank, more than banking.
Hey, managing a business is not easy. I mean, all the beyond boss or CEO, entrepreneur, it takes hard work and a whole lot of please come and buy, please come and buy. Me, I'm getting tired though. I mean, I care about my business, but this stress and sleepless nights. Hey!
Dentina, wonko MTN SME month no be. Yes, yeah, fine pound. See, bra Enoch who sells electronics on our junction. He participated last year and he got a lot of expert advice and some tech things be that has made running his business very easy.
Because it's like he's not part of us.
It's time to take your business to the next level with modern tools and solutions designed with you in mind. Join MTN Business this July in Accra and Kumasi as we partner with SMEs for growth. Visit mtn.com.gh/business or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111 for inquiries.
MTN.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
So it's 12 minutes past 7. Citi Business News was brought to you by MTN, Goil, and Access Bank. Here's an announcement from MTN. Dear valued customer, MTN is undertaking a network upgrade across the country. As a result, you may be experiencing some disruptions in some services during this period. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Thank you for your understanding. I'm going to repeat this. MTN is undertaking a network upgrade across the country. As a result, you may experience some disruptions in some services during the period. MTN apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause, and they thank you for your understanding. Good Energy has hit the road with exciting choices to energize your vehicle. It's time to give you more options to take you further. Watch this space for more. Go, yeah, dear. And Access Bank is also proud to be associated with Kickoff, actually with the Citi Business News. Let's help you book and pay for your ticket and secure travel insurance, whether it's tropical, escape, or a visit to family. Access Bank has you covered. Book your next flight with Emirates, South Africa Airways, Air Peace, or Africa World Airlines through Access Bank. Our 55 branch network gives you convenience, easy payments, and security. Visit africa.visa.com to register or call 0800 004 400. Go to ghana.accessbankplc.com for more information. Access Bank, more than banking. Kickoff is next with Lesheho and Shell. Let Lesheho help you power up your finances, making your money work harder for you so you can watch your wealth grow. Don't settle for average returns. Join the investment revolution with our fixed deposit solution and take charge of your financial future. Call Lesheho on 027 004 0799 or send WhatsApp on 027 004 0733. Lesheho, let's improve life. And go time start at Shell, where you can fill up on more than just fuel. You can fill up on love, laughter, and sumptuous bites and treats from our partner vendors. While you're enjoying yourself with your family and friends, your car also gets the love it deserves at the Shell service station and wash bay. It's one roof for everything. Visit Shell today. Kickoff is next. Bernard Abeku Otri. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Thursday's edition of the Citi Breakfast Show. We are proudly powered by Shell, Lesheho, and Zonda. Coming up, former sports minister indicates Norwegian embassy not responsible for visas of fake Paralympic team members. Also, President Akufo-Addo welcomes African Games officials to Jubilee House. Let's start from the ministries, and the former sports minister Edwin Nilante van der Poel has stated that the Norwegian embassy should not be held responsible for granting visas to the fake Paralympic team members who disappeared in Norway last April. He made these remarks on Eyewitness News yesterday following a press briefing by the current minister Mustafa Yusuf concerning the ongoing scandal which involves one person dead, another arrested, and 9 who are yet to be apprehended in Norway.
Most of the embassies, born out of the respect that they have for the sovereignty of the state, when they have a note verbal, hardly will they want to go back and check whether the note verbal is genuine. Most of the time they don't, because it is out of respect for the state seal that is on that letter. Because in their jurisdiction, they don't think anybody could have access to a state seal like that. So if there's a note verbal with a state seal on it, hardly would they want to think that that is a forged letter. So we must trace the source of that forged document. You can't blame the embassy. It is the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the National Sports Authority who should first be sure and authenticate that the list of people that have been sent to their office for the note verbal to be written are genuine, are people who are representative of the particular federation that they say they are going to represent.
Now, Edwin Nilante van der Poel also mentioned that the actions of the fake Paralympic team have tarnished the reputation of Ghanaian athletes, particularly affecting the genuine Paralympic team set to compete in the Paralympic Games from August 28 to September 8.
Well, that is the problem we have created for ourselves. You know, this country, under this regime, the image and the integrity of the country has so been damaged that now, when you mention that you are from Ghana, you are looked with different eye. You are looked in a different sphere and different shape. And people want to find out whether you are really truly a Ghanaian. Because we have situations where people who are not even Ghanaians are officially being made to be represented as Ghanaians and taking our resources and our monies away. So under this government, I'm saying everything is turned upside down. And I'm sure that what has happened is going to further damage the reputation of our sports federations and our Olympic Committee and our National Sports Authority and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. I'm sure the embassy that will be handling the accreditation for the Paralympic Games will be cautious enough from the way they are being blamed from the way the minister and the ministry is blaming them now, they will be cautious enough now to do a thorough and a due diligence on every application for an accreditation to attend the Paralympic Games.
Away from the former Minister for Youth and Sports, Edwin Nilante Vanderpoel, let's head to the Jubilee House. Now, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo welcomed a visit from Dr. Kweku Fosu-Asare, head of the local organizing committee for the 13th African Games, and Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf at the Jubilee House yesterday. The purpose of their visit was to express their gratitude to the President and to update him in the aftermath of the country hosting the 13th African Games, which took place in March. Here's Dr. Kweku Fosu-Asare, the local organizing committee chairman for the 13th African Games.
Mr. President, the facilities that we were able to build at Boteman and also what we upgraded at Legon will be contributing towards the building of sports in our country. And as I speak to you now, Mr. President, I'm happy to inform you that because of the facilities we upgraded at Legon, Ghana has won the bid to host the International Athletics Competition in 2026. We also want to thank you for the encouragement you gave us to ensure that the facilities we put up at Boteman will serve as the basis for the building or establishment for the establishment of the University of Sport for Development. And I've just been informed by my Honorable Minister that we have had executive approval for that. Mr. President, we look forward to ensuring that Ghana will benefit tremendously from this university, not only Ghana, but the entire sub-region and also Africa. I have every belief that it will be a unique one in the whole world, and that will be a legacy that you will leave behind. Mr. President, we are very grateful.
We also hear from the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, praising the local organizing committee for hosting the games successfully in Accra back in March.
Well, the 13th, is it? The 13th edition of the African Games, that they went very, very well. And the whole continent has felt enhanced and elevated by it. This very weekend, Musa Faki Mahamat, who's the president of the AU Commission, was talking about the Games. Yes, it's one of the things that he believes has happened recently that has done a lot to raise the image of the continent. So I have to thank all of you for your contribution and for your hard work and dedication to duty that has made it possible for these games to have come and gone. It's not easy. 13,000 people. And it's not enough for 13,000 people. To have to look after 13,000 people and manage them and see to it that they are comfortable, they're fed, they're bathed and nourished, and they're looked after. But you've done it. And it's a big kudos to our country. Ghana has benefited. Its image has been uplifted by the work that you do. So on my part too, I want to thank you very, very much.
Away from the presidency, let's talk about Samatex 1996, who are the reigning champions of the Ghana Premier League. Now, yesterday, they also visited the president at the Jubilee House to present the trophy they won last season and to request the president's support for their upcoming participation in the CAF Champions League. Here's the club president, Dr. Richard Dia Nsenchire.
As we have qualified to represent Ghana in Africa, we said, one, we want to come and seek your blessing by showing you the cup, and then to seek your blessing, because over the years, what we have realized is the teams that go to Africa lack financial support. They would have really done well or gone to the advanced stages, but unfortunately, finances has become a problem. And we are appealing to you, as we are even come to showcase the cup to you, that we are representing Ghana and we need your support, Mr. President, to make sure that we can excel in the CAF Championship. And that is why we are here.
Well, let's do more. And speaking of Ghanaian clubs set to participate in Africa, Hazakes Ladies Football Club have been drawn in the WAFU Zone B, Group B standings against opponents from Nigeria and Burkina Faso. The second D side got drawn against Burkina Faso, so many Sport at Etincelle, Nigeria's Edo Queens and Niger's AS Guard National. Well, Hazakes Ladies finished second in the maiden edition of the Champions League after losing to Sundowns in the final game in Morocco. Away from that, Uzbek centre-back Patrick Pfeiffer has announced that his nationality change from Germany to Ghana is finalized and he is prepared to play for the Black Stars of Ghana. 2 years ago, the Ghana Football Association revealed that the 24-year-old was among 5 players who had switched their nationality or agreed to play for Ghana. However, there was a delay with his switch, preventing him from joining the Black Stars squad until now. Pfeiffer has now confirmed that he is now eligible to represent Ghana at the senior level.
Yes, I was a few weeks ago in Ghana and now I get my passport. And yes, I hope that in September they can make a call up for me.
Mm-hmm. Does this trip really make you really interested to be part of the Black Stars and also play here in Africa?
Yes, of course, because it's my motherland. I love the land. I love the guys, I love the vibe, I love the food. And yes, I born and raised in Germany, but I love Ghana.
Well, away from that, to Europe, and Argentina's coach Javier Mascherano has described a chaotic ending to his team's 2-1 loss to Morocco in the men's Olympic football tournament as a disgrace and a circus. While crowd trouble forced the first football match of Paris 2024 to be suspended for nearly 2 hours, with the game eventually completed in an empty stadium. With Morocco leading 2-1, Argentina appeared to level the match 16 minutes into the second half injury time, which sparked bottles being thrown onto the turf and a pitch invasion by some supporters in Morocco Cales. The men's football competition got underway yesterday, a day before the start of the women's tournament, which will kick off today. Let's run through some of the results from yesterday. In Group A was France 3, United States of America 0, Guinea 1, New Zealand 2. In Group B, Argentina 1, Morocco 2, Iraq 2, Ukraine 1. In Group C, Uzbekistan 1, Spain 2, Egypt 0, Dominican Republic 0. In Group D, Mali 1, Israel 1, and Japan 5. Paraguay 0. We move away with some completed transfer news, and France winger Moussa Diaby has joined Saudi Arabian side Al Ittihad from Aston Villa. The 25-year-old leaves the Villa Park just 1 season after joining on a 5-year deal for a club record, reportedly £51.9 million from Bayern Leverkusen last July. Defender Riccardo Calafiori is set to have his medical with Arsenal as his move from Bologna edges closer. And that's Bio Sports. This morning, for more sports stories, log on to citisportsonline.com. Join us later at 5 p.m. for the very latest in the world of sport. Thanks to Shell, Lecheho, and Zonda. I am Bernard Abeku. Sport is life. Get involved.
If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, even when you're stuck with nothing, no matter your situation, let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, we improve your life.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings. From chicken to chocolate, caramel, or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy, and laughter assemble. Because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
I am Ohinere Gifty. You see, it always feels good when you receive that salary alert. I made a bold decision to invest a lump sum into the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. And this means that I will get these alerts every month throughout retirement for the rest of my life. You too can retire on your own terms. So invest a lump sum in the Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan today and enjoy guaranteed monthly income for life. Call Old Mutual on 050-453-4333 or visit oldmutual.com.gh to sign up today. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
ShopRite's low price birthday is on, which means you get all the low price deals without missing a beat. Celebrate with incredible savings with deals like 190-gram Exeta corned beef for just 37 cedis, 99 pence worth, and 340-gram Sadia frozen sausage for only 16 cedis, 99 pence worth. Offers valid until 4th August. Don't miss out on our party rock and low prices only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always. Plus, you can stand a chance to win groceries for a whole year. Simply purchase 3 participating products. Check your code on your competition tool slip and enter via our WhatsApp line. Competition ends on 7th September. See in-store for more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Yeah, hip.
Property assets.
I am Baba Taylor. Adequate sum insured is what gives a policyholder access to the full claim amount without any deduction for underinsurance when a loss occurs. This means that the value placed on the asset must commensurate with prevailing market price. For example, the prevailing market price of a certain brand of car is 50,000 Ghana cedis. Amma buys it for 50,000 Ghana cedis and insures it for 50,000 Ghana cedis. Kofi buys same car brand for 35,000 Ghana cedis and insures it for 35,000 Ghana cedis. If a claim arises, Amma's compensation can buy the same vehicle at the prevailing market price, while Kofi will have to contribute more due to inadequate sum insured. In our inflationary economy, it is best to take an insurance policy with adequate scope and value to cover potential losses. Regularly review and update your policies to accommodate changes in vehicle value, spare parts cost, property value, cost of building materials and renovations, and other needs relevant to your specific policy. So, as the market value of your asset increases, you should also increase the value on your insured asset. Speak to us at Enterprise Insurance or to your broker or agent on conducting annual policy reviews and reassessing your coverage options. This saves you from getting a claim that is inadequate to cover losses incurred due to a rise in the value of what you insured. Write to us at insuranceToday@myenterprisegroup.io or by WhatsApp at 0548 231149.
Enterprise, your advantage.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Much from Mommy Emilia, Daddy David, and your sister Ohima, all of White Estate, Tema Michelle Camp. Today we celebrate our dear pastor for his dedication to ministry and exemplary Christian life. We are proud to be associated with you for your honesty and integrity. May God continue to be your shield and exceeding great reward in the years ahead. From the leadership and members of ICGC, the Royal Temple, Awoshi, to Reverend Samuel Ewukujechi. Reverend Samuel Ewukujechi, happy birthday to you from your church members. Wishing Senior Johan Ashite, the mayor of Tema and the PC for Tema East, a happy birthday. This is coming in from your brother. There's another one coming in from your wife, I celebrate not just your birthday, but our journey and the incredible man you are. Your love for Yahweh, family, and country is unshakable. You're a true statesman, a loving husband, and a proud Temanyobi. You are indeed proof of God's love for me. Happy birthday to my honorable honey. For yours forever, your wife, Lolanye Afi Asise Ashite. Lolanye Afi Asise Ashite. To Johan Amma Ashite, MC for Tema, parliamentary candidate for the MPP in
for like a fashion, but if you ever start making clothes, appear by colors.
You know, we have a Jedu of shapes. We have appear of colors. Yeah, today. And the funny thing is that I don't even know the name of the color you're wearing. It's green,
teal.
blue.
It's teal.
Oh, teal.
I told you the last time.
Teal. Oh, okay. So which one is this? It's also teal?
No, this is turquoise.
So what is Channel 1's color?
Turquoise.
Oh, it's turquoise.
Yes.
So teal.
So we have actually, the Channel 1 colors. There's a spectrum of colors. So it moves from aquamarine into, which is more bluish,
aquamarine
into the
turquoise,
which is more green,
into the teal.
Yeah.
When I was young, they taught me colors, but they didn't teach me those ones. They taught me red, gold, and green.
Man, we only know 5 or 6
red,
colors.
gold, green, blue, black and white and brown. Teal, turquoise, and those things. I don't know.
We don't know the
All right, still on the announcement side, Ashesi University calling. Launch your career, start your own business, embark on advanced studies within 6 months of graduation. That's the Ashesi advantage. From Accra to Nairobi, from London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and they're leading successful careers. Regardless of what you choose to study, an Ashesi education gives you a strong foundation for life. So go to ashesi.edu.gh to learn more about an Ashesi advantage. Remember, admissions ongoing. And let's talk about GT Bank. Started this big conversation about autism. Started on the 23rd until 27th. The third edition of their biggest corporate social responsibility initiative, the GT Bank Annual Autism Workshop and Consultations at the Kofi Ohini Kunedu Auditorium, UPSA, on the theme, A Spectrum of Possibilities. 5-day event begins on Tuesday. It goes into discussions on autistic spectrum disorders, inclusive education, and communication across the spectrum with subject matter experts. And of course, a team of leading medical specialists and consultants from the USA, UK, Nigeria, and Ghana will take participants through a free one-on-one consultation in the areas of speech and behavioral and occupational therapy, etc. Call 0800 124 000. Yes. Before I bring in Apioko and Magdalene Williams, let me tell you something we're doing on Wednesday. Yeah, this one is called a pre-sec advantage. Charlie, we have a big event on Wednesday, the 31st of July. It's the Conversations, or that year National Dialogues. That's what we call it. Conversations under the Baobab Tree. Reflections on constitutional change and national development, national reform. Our main speaker is Odadie Frank Edu, who's the former MD of Cal Bank and really a retired banker. Chairman is Reverend Ebenezer Makwe. We have speakers or discussants including Kojo Asante and Clara Kasati. This event is on Wednesday, 31st of July at the EcoBank Head Office Auditorium, 2 Morocco Lane off Independence Avenue, 4 p.m. sharp. It will be live on Channel 1 television. And the topic is so much things to say. Yeah. So much things to say.
Quote from Bob Marley.
I'm telling you, and I'll be there quietly. Yeah, I'll just wait for them like that. Yeah, as the moderator of the situation. Good morning to Magdalene Wepia Williams. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm very well. How are you doing?
These days I hear you are back in school.
Yeah, so
this time I don't see you.
It's not easy. The school is beating me, but yeah, we go.
I always tell people that even when I went to do my masters, I wasn't working, but I didn't sit up.
Boss is not easy.
So those of you who are working and doing, this is to all those who are working and in school. May God strengthen you.
Amen. We need it. We need it.
Charlie, I was doing a full-time master's, so
bro,
one paper I had to even pray in the exam that I shouldn't fail.
Can you imagine?
Charlie, so to combine work with school, you are doing well. You are doing well. So when you finish, we'll do party for you.
Thank you. The whole world heard this. So my boss has spoken.
So ladies, you're welcome.
Thank you.
In the next 10 minutes, you're going to tell me the journey. So when did we start the literacy challenge? How did we get it? Let me start with Apioko.
So we put out a call for young people, particularly JHS students or students in Ghana who are going through a curriculum that's equivalent to the JHS curriculum in May. And we said, look, you know, this is what it is. We're giving you a topic, an essay topic, because that's what the literacy challenge does. There's a level 1, and level 1 is an essay competition. And so we ask you to write based on a topic, and then from there, you know, we move on with the challenge. So the topic this year was very simple. We asked the youth to write to us, telling us the things that they would like to see happen differently in Ghana, the change they are looking to see, but more importantly, how the youth can get involved in achieving that change.
All right.
And we chose this stuff because, look, we thought that we're at a time in our democracy, in our national life where we know the statistics. Bernard, you're a numbers man. The population is very young. And if we're not careful and we don't get our young people to start thinking consciously about what our nation looks like on every level, then we'll be in trouble in some years to come. So this is a topic we put out there. The instructions are very simple. The essay shouldn't be less than 600 words. So you write at least 600 words. Most of them wrote close to 1,000.
My God.
I mean, these people wrote, I keep saying, research papers. They wrote, they wrote
dissertations,
policy drafts, dissertations, all sorts of things. But it was such a joy to see Ghana's young people. If you're a JHS student or, you know, within that bracket, it means you're not typically more than 16 years old at most. And so we've had 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds write very brilliant things. Now, where are we? After the essays came in, we closed submission for entry on the 13th of July, which is about 2 weeks ago. And our external examiners took these scripts, they graded them, looking for all the things they're looking for, the creativity, evidence of research, originality, mechanical accuracy, making sure that everything is grammatically sound, because it is an essay and there are different parameters that you have to stick to.
All right.
And now we have our top 50.
You have your top 50.
We have our top 50.
After days of marking
thousands of scripts.
Where did we get entries from, Magdalene? And how good was the turnout this year?
Oh, it was very good. We got entries from all over the country. So we are talking the Ashanti region, Upper West, Upper East, Volta, Bono East, Ahafo, Greater Accra, Central, like Western, all over the country. And yes. And we thought it was really brilliant to receive all these entries from these GHS students. Now, like Apioko just said, we have our top 50.
Okay.
And it's widely spread. We have some from the Greater Accra region, from the Central Ashanti. We have from the Upper West. We have from the Eastern region, Central, Volta, and the Upper East region.
Amazing. So we're going to jump straight into the top 50. Is this in order of anything?
No, it is not.
It's just top 50.
Just the top 50. But we do know who came out tops.
Yes, we do.
And on Saturday, during after the aptitude test, we have a medal ceremony where we award all top 50 with medals of because they've achieved something really huge out of thousands.
So these 50 will all get
yes,
some
but we are
prizes.
also awarding the top 3.
Okay.
So the top
In the
3
essay.
essays.
In the
Yes,
essay.
top 3 essays.
Before we go
for the
into
literacy
their
challenge.
aptitude test.
Exactly.
Wonderful. So let's go straight through the numbers. I don't know who's... You have to
All
mention
right.
the names.
Yes, so we have, in no particular order, Sarah Ann GNK Corte. Sarah Ann
No school is
GNK
mentioned, no
Corte.
location, no region.
No.
Sarah Ann Kwoti.
Yes, Sarah Ann Corte.
Of Ghana.
Of Ghana.
Okay.
Yaira Efwa Hachu from Faith Kids Academy.
Faith Kids
Yaira.
Academy.
Or is it Afua? If she's Yaira, then she's
Yaira
most likely
Afua.
Afua Hachu. Abeka Daniels Abena Irabna. Abeka Daniels Irabna. So I'm
that's
guessing
a girl.
Irabna is her first name, and then
Yeah.
Abeka Daniels is her surname, from Mount Zion Methodist Basic School.
All right.
Then we have Franklin Eyiram Adanu from Vine Christian High School in
All right.
Accra. Then we have Irabna Asabia Mwaku from Silicon Valley of Fakor, Greater Accra region. Yes, and Irabna, Silicon Valley is no stranger to the top 50
They've had a
or
winner
the
before.
top 10.
Yeah.
Yes. Kelvin Kojo Ofori from the Agri Memorial International School, Dansuman,
All right.
Greater Accra. David Kalili from Golden Gate International School.
The schools are interesting.
I tell you.
Golden Gate International School.
Golden Gate.
The gate to heaven.
I tell you, no lie.
Jaden Judah Harrison Afo.
Hey.
Yes, first name is
Jaden
hyphenated.
Judah Harrison
Last
Afo.
name is
My
hyphenated.
Lord. Wow. Okay, also of Ghana.
Also of Ghana.
So some didn't add their schools.
Some didn't add their schools to their schools.
Some are from maybe homeschool.
So as we reach out to them,
Jaden
then
Judah
you
Harrison
can-
Afo.
That's right.
Okay.
Then we have Makafui Ramona Ella. Makafui Echla. Makafui Ramona Echla from
EHLA.
it's another name, but it sounds very much like a South African name as well.
Echla.
From Bexhill International School Complex in Tema.
Okay.
Then we have Asamoah Boatima Ama. So Ama Boatima.
Yeah.
Asamoah. From Jara International School at Shaman. And that's our reigning champion school.
Yeah.
All right, so the
Yes.
reigning champion from Nigeria International.
That's right.
That's in Ashama. Okay.
Yes.
If you can continue with the rest. So that's the first. This is 10.
First 10.
First 10.
Okay. And then still on the list we have who else?
We have Sedinam Fui Fifi Bedema from the Oyster Academy.
In Tema.
Then, yes, and we have Isuman Ama Karen, also from Jaira International School.
Ashaiman.
Yes, Asharman. Benedicta Arthur, Southbridge Montessori School, also in Accra.
That's Banana Inn.
Okay.
Southbridge Montessori. Charlie,
Yes,
the name of the schools are wow. Benedicta Arthur, Southbridge Montessori School.
Exactly.
Hey.
Yes, and we have Mame Kesewa Obriyeboa from Happy Kids School.
Of Kwashiman.
Of Kwashiman, yes. We have Portia Asari, Mary Star of the Sea School. Mary Star of the Sea School, also in Accra. We have Anfuachi Sobre Tema Ridge School.
No, you've jumped two.
You've jumped one.
I've jumped one.
Yes, so you have Portia Asari of Mary Star of the Skin, and you have Nadia.
Okay, yes. Nadia Jalaluddin. That's SOS Herman School.
Yes.
Herman Minor.
Jalaluddin. SOS Herman Minor in Tema.
Yes, in Tema.
Okay.
Then now, Anfuachi Sobre, that's the Tema Rich School.
All right.
We have Princess Akosia Mrekua Wiafe of the Glorious Child School Limited.
There's a limited in the school.
Yes, please. There's a limited in the school.
I tell you.
We have Jaden James Onwana Asari, also of the Happy Kids School.
All right. And then
we have Tracy Mensah, Nungwa Methodist JHS.
Interesting. And let's continue up your call with the others. We have who else?
All right. So we have Sonia Chumesi, Oyster Academy, also in Tema. Apia Menka Asari, Almighty Vision Academy, Sunya. So that's in the Bronga Hafo region. No, we don't have Bunu region. We don't have Bronga Hafo anymore. Kobna Esiama Yanka, Christ Legacy International, also of Ghana. Priska Efia Yeboah from Backnoff Schools in Obuasi.
Backnoff Schools?
Yes, Backnoff Schools in Obuasi.
Okay.
Felicia Ade Sedinam Nikwe, Christ the King International School in Accra. Amwa Kwachi Oliver, Jera International School, Jera again, Ashaman. Jaden Kwekuba D&D Academy in Kumasi. We have a past champion from there as well, 2022 champion. Melinda J. Jambwe from St. Nicholas Anglican JHS in Cape Coast, Central Region. Frederick Loko, Covenant Presbytery School in Jorlu, that's in Accra. Erabna Ajiman, I'm guessing it's Einstein School.
Einstein School.
Yes, in Ofako.
Charlie, then they give to this school.
Einstein School.
Einstein School.
So the kids are geniuses.
In Ofako.
Students are
Ofako is in Kaswa.
Yes.
Let's continue. Right. So that's the 30th, right?
Yes.
So 30th. We still have a few names to go through. Let's run through quickly.
Yehuda Teria of Ghana. Medina to Ahmed from Bexel International School Complex, Tema. Annalisa Afremensa, Southbridge Montessori School, Accra. Miriam Mami Ifwa Jackson, SAP School. Elsie Abedi, Pram DA Basic B School.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Daniel Techi Amano Ogbojo from VRA International School in Akuse, that's in the eastern region. Stephanie Makafui Aguda, Martyrs of Uganda School, Kumasi. Sarah Abla MFA Salome, Kiddy City Academy at Dawenya, Greater Accra. Kekeli Aite Delight of Ghana. Richwell Yenisogre Bogrebon, West End International School. Frimpong Eugenia Kisiwa, St. Anthony RCJHS in Nkoko.
All right.
Ya Echia Oseboama, Great Victory Academy in Bolgatanga, Upper East. Anita Mankwa, Encounter Française, Cape Coast, Central Region. Then Angel Kovo, Reverend Owusu Mission School in Ho, Volta Region. Suleiman Toiba, Great Victory Academy, Bolgatanga, Upper East. Lois Entry Sumwa, Blessed Redeemer School, also in Nkoko, Eastern Region. Stephanie Kira Aite, Encounter Française, again, Cape Coast. They came, Peggy Darko, Saint Faustina Roman Catholic Basic School in Amanfro, Accra, that's Greater Accra. Then we have Divine Yambefare Ambalaku, and this person has made it to the top 50 before, from Leadership Community School in Wa. And last but definitely not the least, Jael Labi, Happy Kids School.
Wow, that's the list. It's a long list of 50. I'll run through the list before the show ends again, but what's the deal? So this 50, where are they going to meet? What are they doing?
This Saturday at 12 noon, the Accra Digital Center, we will be doing an aptitude test. Now, the aptitude test is a general knowledge test. It's written, and it's 100 multiple choice questions. However, it's very much application of knowledge. And when we say general knowledge, there's language in there, there's literature, there's what we call quantitative aptitude in the past, some scientific knowledge, numerical knowledge. Anything can happen, some current affairs, social studies. But it's nothing that a JHS student, especially JHS students as brilliant as these top 50 would have seen. Now from there, like I mentioned, after they sat for the test, shortly afterwards, we do the middle presentation and then also give each of them certificates of participation and then also let people know which of these 50 are in the top 3 bracket of the essay competition. That's level 1. After that, we'll get our top 10 from the aptitude test and then they will proceed to the grand finale, which is
it's still a long way to go.
Still a long way to go.
You're going to do the aptitude test to reduce 50 to 10.
That's right.
And then you're going to have the top 10 go into a quiz,
Exactly.
which will reduce to top 3, top 2, top 1.
There we go.
Very interesting. I'll run through the list again quickly in the next 3 minutes. Sarah Ann Korte, Yaira Afua Hachu, Faith Academy, Abeku Daniels, Irabena Abena Mount Zion Methodist Basic School, Franklin Enyiram Adanu, Vine Christian School, Irabena Asari, Amoakun Silicon Valley International, Kelvin Kojo Fori of Agri Memorial International, David Kelili, Golden Gate International, Jaden Judah Harrison Affle, No School mentioned, McAfee Romano Echla, Bexel International, Amma Asamoah Boateng. I prefer to mention the first name. If you mix this up, Amma Asamoah Boateng of Jerry International, Sedinam Fui Fifi Bedema of the Ulster Academy, Amma Karen Esuman, Jerry International, Benedicta Arthur, Southbridge International, Mamika Sewa, Obri Abua, Happy Kids, Portia Asari, Mary Star of the Sea, Nadia Jalaluddin, SOS and Minor, Anne Fuachi Sobre of Tema Ridge, Princess Akosia Miriku Yafi Glorious Child School Limited, Jaden James Ona Sari, Happy Kids, Tracy Mensa Nungwa Methodist, Sonia Chumesi, the Oyster Academy, lots of girls, Apia Menka Sari, Almighty Vision Academy, Kobna Siama Yanka of Christ Legacy, Friska Efia Yeboa of Backnoff School, that's in Obuasi, Felicia J, Sedinam Nikwe, very confusing mixture of names. Felicia Adey, okay, it's Adey, Sedinam Nikwe. So there are different things going on there. Christ the King International, Amwa Kwachi Oliver of Jira International, Jaden Kwekuban of D&D, Melinda Jamboe, St. Nicholas Anglican JHS, Frederick Loco, Covenant Presby, Erabina Jiman of Einstein School, Yehuda Teria, no school mentioned, Madin Tu Ahmed, Bexhill International, Annalisa Afre Mensa of Southridge, Marianne Mamifwa Jackson Saps, Elsie Abedi, Pram Basic B, David or Daniel Tichi Amano, Ogbojo, VR International, Stephanie McAfee Aguda, Matters of Uganda, Kumasi, Sarah Abla MFA Selome of Kiddy City Academy, Kekeli Aite Delight, no school mentioned, Richwell, Jens Songre Bogrebon, my God, West End International, Frimpong, Eugenia Kisiwa, St. Anthony RCJHS, Yai Chan Osebo Ama Great Victory, Anita Mankoa, Encounter Française, that's the name of the school, Angela Kovo of Reverend Owusu Mission School in Ho, Sulemana Toyiba, Great Victory Academy, Bolgatanga, Lois Entry Somoa of Blessed Redeemer School in Koko, Stephanie Keraite of Encounter Française Cape Coast, Peggy Dako, St. Faustina, Roman Catholic Basic in Amanfro, Divine Yambafari Abalaku. Hey, Abalakulu. Leadership Community. Their names are whole proverbs. And then Jael Labi of Happy Kids School. Congratulations. Literacy Challenge is just entering its second stage. This Saturday, we're going to give out the awards after they do the aptitude test. And then we wait for the top 10 who would enter the quiz later in the year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Magdalene Wepia Williams, thank you. And to our sponsors.
Yes, please. We need to thank our sponsors. The Ghana Gas Company. Very big thank you to A Life Soap and Fortune Spread from the Wilmer family. Thank you to them as well. Weeby Biscuits by M4 Foods. We're very grateful to Weeby Biscuit too. And of course, Prospectus Ghana Limited.
Wonderful.
Thank you all so much. We couldn't do this without you.
For over 15 years, very proud of this particular campaign. Started as a right away competition and it's now the literacy challenge. Let's get into tech and social media trends brought to you by Telecel. Are you ready to be the next millionaire in town? The Telecel More Money promo is here. 1 million CD grand prize up for grabs, and it could be you. Reload your mobile using Telecel Cash Wallet. Be part of the daily and weekly draws. You could win up to 30,000 cedis every week. Buy data or airtime using Telecel Cash Wallet and double your chances. Making payments onto your fixed broadband also gives you the chance to be the next millionaire. The more you reload, the more your chances of winning. To opt in, dial *500# or send WIN to 500. Or visit the Telecel Play app. T's and C's apply. Telecel, connecting energies.
Now, there's a long vacation ahead, Bernard, and First Bank Ghana is doing something exciting. The Junior Internship Program for children. This is starting from July 15 to September 15 this year. We give them work experience. All you need to do is to sign up your children awards for the Kids First account, and this is for 12 children aged between 12 less, and for the Me First account, it is made for teenagers aged 13 to 17 years. You just have to make an initial deposit of 300 cedis in the account and apply for the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. Your child or ward will experience an exciting 5-day internship at any of our branches, get to participate in an essay writing competition and win an attractive cash prize if his or her essay is judged as one of the top 3 essays. So to find out more, please call 0596921921 or email firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank Ghana, you first.
So what's trending this morning? Nathan will take us through quickly.
Well, a number of things trending. Koku Anyidoho is on the trend. He's number
trending?
7.
My lord.
Charlie Koku. So even look at the newspapers. He's featuring prominently there. He and the Mills family, had a bit of an issue yesterday. We marked the 12th anniversary since the passing of the late President John Mills. And Koku Anyidoho is front and center in that particular case, Charlie.
I don't know if it's... I don't know.
Anyway, let's move on to some sporting trends. Morocco is trending. Yesterday, they beat Argentina 2-1.
Why is that surprising?
Well, it's not surprising.
Morocco
It's the drama.
Why? What did happen?
So Morocco led 2-1 deep into injury time, and then the South Americans equalized. Then the game ended. So initially ended 2-2. 2 hours later, a ruling came out that the Argentine equalizer was offside.
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
After the game?
2 hours, yeah, because they were still debating whether it was on or off.
When did they have VAR?
VAR wasn't, so now they had to use the automatic, the automatic offside one. So now they looked at it and said, okay, 2 hours later, Argentina didn't get 1 point. They got 0. That was in the men's Olympic football competition. France won yesterday, by the way. They beat the USA 3-0. Spain also won. And then I think Guinea drew with Israel. Staying with sporting trends, Chelsea and related Chelsea matters are also trending. Wrexham, Lavia, Angelo, Madueke, Port, Chelsea all trending. Chelsea drew 2-2 with Wrexham in a pre-season friendly, and it has the Chelsea world divided really. People are saying after one game, now they are pointing fingers at players. Say, this one must go. This one must stay.
Pre-season is basically for fitness.
Yes, so
for fitness and
people
to
are
test your strategy. So
people are not.
You can win pre-season cup and not do anything.
People are not too happy.
Don't get excited.
Anyway, and then in Ghana, the phrase credit is trending because people are talking about the credit score, credit rating thing. Dr. Baumia a few days ago said if he wins, people will buy mobile phone, people will buy cell phones, and they can pay over time. And people are talking about the fact that, the idea is good and that we should introduce credit score. And somebody said in Ghana, where if you take quick loan cry, you don't want to pay. It's credit score.
Ghanaians, we need to watch our credit. What do you call it? Our people don't like paying loans. Sometimes they can't pay, but sometimes because I don't think quick loan has a lot of interest on it.
But people take it and then they throw their SIM cards away. They don't want to pay.
If you say fine, interest rates are high, 30% is good. But quick loan, the one they do on the phone, I don't think they charge that much interest.
Well,
I don't think they do.
Anyway, finally,
you haven't taken some before, so you won't know.
Finally, CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, the company behind the surge last week, the outage. Very good. Now, CrowdStrike said they were giving out $10 food vouchers to people who were affected, i.e., their partners and workers. Now, some people who also got access to those vouchers claimed they went to access the vouchers and the vouchers didn't work. So now they are going after CrowdStrike. But CrowdStrike said the vouchers were for their workers and their partners who had to work overtime to ensure that to get the outage, repaired and all of that. So that was on the lighter side. People are complaining that CrowdStrike after turning off
get the vouchers? No, for their workers.
This was for their workers and their partners. But other people somehow got access to the voucher. They wanted to use the voucher. They said the voucher didn't work.
I think connection is just
but the company said no, that the voucher is for teammates and partners who have been helping customers through the situation, not for external parties.
So vouchers running.
Going up? Yes. After you. No, you first. No, please. I insist. You first. I wouldn't dare, my friend. You first. Beauty before brains, my friend. You first. The honor would be mine. You first.
Oh, my word. And I hear they were there the whole day. Our employees take our You First philosophy to a whole new level. Get used to a bank that believes in putting you first. FBN Bank is now First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana. You first.
Kind of way, tell you how the more money promo now.
Everybody likes money, but what do we like more than money? More money! Join the Telecel More Money promo and win money, more money, and even more money. Simply opt in for free and reload your mobile and broadband and be the lucky winner of the 1 million Ghana cedis grand prize. Also win cash prizes of up to 3 million Ghana cedis in the daily and weekly draws. Opt in for free by dialing *500# or send WIN to 500, or you can opt in on the Telecel Play app. The more you reload, the higher chances of winning in the Telecel More Money promo. Keep loading, win, and be a millionaire.
Telecel. Connecting energies.
Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The entries have been received and the marking.
major scandal. Paralympic team or like marathon, a team of parathletes went to Norway and they just disappeared. And we're told one of them, the team lead, died, and the family was sent to bring the body back. That family has also disappeared. So, like, I don't know what that is. Something happening in Norway that we don't know. But the Minister of Youth and Sports tried to address it yesterday in a press conference that also addressed issues around owings of the All Africa Games, as well as the abandoned youth resource centers that we raised a few days ago. So we're discussing all of this shortly. So this is a discussion around the disappearance of Ghanaian athletes, para-athletes from Norway. But in the meantime, let's do a few quick announcements.
Yes, dear moms, aren't you tired of fighting with Junior anytime he goes to play? Junior wants to play, he has to play, but in the process his clothes will get dirty. But don't worry, that's why Omo is here. The new Omo that is out is packed with a powerful stain remover, and those properties are gentle on your hands. And the Omo Twisco Empower Your Dream, and this ad is FDA approved. Now, gas is what you should be using in your kitchen, not firewood, because using firewood is dangerous and is harmful to your health. Go out there and get gas and be part of the cylinder recirculation model. Just take your empty cylinder, go to a nearby exchange point and trade it for a filled one. No more long trips or waiting in long queues to fill your gas cylinders. Make the smart switch from firewood and charcoal to gas. This message is brought to you by the NPA and the Ministry of Energy. And Ashform is saying that they have all you need when it comes to home soft furnishings, and they have a wide range of new collections and products that will suit your home, hotel, and your organization. Call them on 0243 200 729 to find out what you can get. They've got beds, mattresses, pillows, bed linens, toppers, duvets, protectors, curtains, towels, the whole shebang. They are an Ashform, and now Ashform, feel it, know it.
So the Ghana Revenue Authority is introducing the stamp textile tax effective July 1, 2024. This stamp protects your jobs and livelihoods from illicit trading, counterfeiting and smuggling. This is not a tax, it's just a compliance measure to protect the textiles industry in Ghana. So which products are affected? All African prints textiles are included. Look out for the green border for domestic products, red border for imports, and blue for the transition period. Remember, look for the textile tax stamp when you buy. Protect our local industry and jobs. For importers and manufacturers, register and get your stamps at your nearest GRA office or online at www.greatgratextiletaxstamp.com. And for sellers who have such textile prints already in their shops, kindly contact your suppliers for your blue stamps. Please note, it is an offense to display, buy or sell products without the stamp. Enforcement begins July 1, 2024. Remember, no stamp, don't buy. And let me tell you an old story of my good old neighbor, hardworking baker who makes the tastiest pastries for many years. She's always had a small shop, but on my way to work today, I passed by her shop and she's upgraded to deliveries. All it took was a conversation with APSA, and she got a collateral free loan of up to 500,000 Ghana cedis with a 10% annual interest rate. This is the best on the market today. So for all budding entrepreneurs seeking next chapter in their stories, visit any APSA branch to speak to someone to help guide you on your journey and be like my neighbor, because at APSA, your story matters. I'm sure you've brushed your teeth this morning. How about last night? When you do morning and evening, it helps protect your teeth against tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, foul breath. That's why we recommend the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. It's fortified with fluoride, and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes. Pepsodent Cavity Fighter maximum cavity protection gives you 10 times stronger teeth. We've been doing this for more than 25 years. Brush your teeth morning and evening. We are recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. Please call a toll-free number 0800 2030 to talk to any dentist toll free. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent, every smile matters.
Now, if you're a mother and you are struggling and wondering how to, wash your child's clothes because they go out to play, don't worry. The new Omo is out there. So join thousands of Ghanaian moms who have gone back to the beloved Omo. And the new Omo has great powerful stain removal properties and it's extra gentle on your hand and it makes your clothes smell absolutely brilliant. Grab Omo hand wash or Omo Auto for machine wash at any grocery shop or supermarket near you. Omo, powerful stain removal with long-lasting fragrance.
All right, so what is really the story behind this Norway? Nathan, can you give me an overview of this Norway scandal, and then we'll bring what the minister has been saying?
Okay, so sometime in April, this marathon in Bergen in Norway was on, and Ghana there was a team of Ghanaian para-athletes who went there. So they went to compete. A few months on, which was last weekend, a circular came from the Ministry of National Security saying that they had picked up intelligence that these said para-athletes had absconded. On the side, allegedly absconded.
So this is the Ministry of National Security writing to the Ministry of Sports and
Foreign Affairs and all of that. In that circular, I detailed that the team lead or the coach had died in Norway. One member of the team who was allegedly moving from Norway to Sweden on a one-way ticket was stopped by border control. Now the 9 others or so were at large and they were being looked for, or the authorities were on the lookout for these people. That was what was stated in the circular. And then we tried to get answers. So we got in touch with Samson Dean, who is in charge of the Ghana Paralympic sport committee and all of that. And he said, because if you look at the letter that got the people their travel documentation to Norway, he had his signature beneath that letter. But he claims that his signature was forged.
Okay.
And he also started...
So as in the people who were in Norway did not go there
under his hand? They did not go there under his hand.
But was he aware that they were going to Norway?
Well, he says he
had nothing to do with it.
He has nothing to do with it. His signature was forged. Hey. So as we dug deeper, details started to get clear. This is what happened. So there was a marathon. These para-athletes allegedly signed up, or they went to the Norwegian embassy for a visa. The first set of papers they took lacked certain things. So they were supposed to get some letters from Samson Dean, who is in charge of the para sport. So that was when this letter appeared, because now they needed to get his letter. Now, according to sources close to this story, the people had been asking Mr. Dean to sign their letter, but he was, at the time, engaged with the African Games, so he was busy. And then, between that point and when they went back to the Norwegian embassy, they brought a letter, apparently with Samson Dean's signature underneath. Okay, so that was one. Then they got all the other documents, and then they went on their merry way to Norway.
These are 11 athletes.
These are 11. And then the incidents happened. Their coach died. One person ran away. So now these 9 people can't be found.
But do we even know if they took part in a marathon?
It's difficult to tell whether they actually did or not. We are still digging to see.
I haven't seen any reports in the Ghanaian media about any Ghanaian taking part in any marathon.
None at all.
Okay, so that was phase 1.
So that's phase 1. Okay,
so the ministry then writes to talk about what happened.
Yes, so the sports minister yesterday, and before I get to that, I need to add this bit about the coach who died, the late George Dia. Now, his family here's the story, and they say we need to go to Norway to go and get the body and bring the body back for burial or for final funeral.
So this one has been certified dead?
Yes, it's been certified that he died at the Oslo University. So those records are there.
So he's a genuine team lead.
Yes,
we don't know if all the 11 are proper athletes.
Yes, we don't
know that the team lead was there and he died there.
Yes, he died there. Again, speaking to my insiders, the story is that he suffered from cold. Norway is cold. His body, it was a bit of a shock to the system. I don't know if they did or they did not. And then he died as a consequence. Anyway, so now the family went to get the body. They made a case. They were given visas to go to Norway and bring back the body. But according to reports, these said 4 family members have also disappeared.
Are you kidding me? The people who were supposed to bring the body of the dead team lead also cannot be found.
Yes. Now, according to Mr. Samson Dean, in an interview on Asase Radio on Monday, and he cited his sources at the Norwegian embassy, he says that these people subsequently wrote to the Norwegian embassy, requested to send the families of the one who died. The people went, they couldn't bring the corpse. The 4 also absconded. These guys are known. They have been identified. End quote.
My Lord.
So that's where we are now.
Now, so there's the Paralympic Committee.
Mhm.
Who do they work under? Are they directly under the ministry or under?
So the Paralympic Committee will broadly work under the ministry. Their immediate supervisors will be the Ghana Olympic Committee.
After which then there's the Ministry of Youth and
Yes,
Sports.
and then you have.
So has the
NSA.
Ghana Olympic Committee said anything about this?
I have not heard anything from the Ghana Olympic Committee
So who has been
yet.
speaking on this so far?
So far, the sports minister, yesterday he held a meet the press or a press conference quickly put together to address a number of things. Because whilst all of this was happening, hoteliers whose services were contracted or whose services were sought during the African Games are also complaining that weeks or months after the competition ended, they have not been paid. So the sports ministry addressed that, and the minister admitted that some have been paid partially, others are yet to receive even a cedi. So that's on one hand. The other thing was also the talk about unused infrastructure, the youth resource centers, each one costing the state $1.8 million. In 2018, we cut the sword. Some have been built, others not. But the bottom line is that they are not done. So yesterday, the sports minister also addressed that. And then he spoke about the Norway episode. Now,
let's listen to some highlights of his presentation before we come back in. So, Minister for Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf, speaking at the hurriedly arranged Meet the Press Wednesday, 24th July.
So the attention of the Ministry of Youth and Sports has been drawn to a publication about some 11 Ghanaians Paralympic athletes purported to have absconded whilst in Oslo, Norway, to participate in the food draft Beijing City Marathon. The report also indicated that the coach of the team, George Jesse, had collapsed and was admitted at Oslo University Hospital, where he later passed away. Additionally, one other member of the team, that's Nana Entry, was arrested and detained by the Norwegian security officials whilst attempting to travel to Sweden by train. The Ministry of National Security has alerted my ministry, that's the Ministry of Youth and Sports here, about the issue. And we have since responded to the National Security Minister and the other security agencies to investigate the issue. By way of education, we wish to state the following: that in relation to visa assistance, that's protocol assistance to all the federations in Ghana, and I know most of you distinguished media are even abreast with how we operate at the ministry, or travel arrangements for all athletes. If an athlete and the ministry of Youth and Sports work with our technical agency, that's the National Sports Authority, for visa assistance who participate in international competition. So any federation that is recognized by the National Sports Authority, if they want to travel for their international competitions or even local national competitions, they will normally, if they need assistance from us, from government, they will normally write to the National Sports Authority. The National Sports Authority will do their due diligence, then report same with recommendation to the ministry, then we take action. In this case, in this Norwegian case, there was no in to either the National Sports Authority or the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So the ministry were not aware about any, and the team that went wasn't also representing Ghana, as it has been reported in some of the media. So the Norwegian authorities, that's the embassies, to never even had the opportunity. Normally, even the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we don't issue letters directly to any of the embassies. We normally will write to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for Ministry of Foreign Affairs to then work on our behalf to any of the specific embassies or missions. So for the record, this purported Ghana Paralympic team is not true. They are not in any of the tournament because we were not in the picture. The Ministry of Youth and Sports then transmits the communication to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to facilitate the acquisition of relevant visas and appropriate embassies and consulate office. But I've just explained that. So we should state that we are working. We want to assure you, the media, that even though it has come to our attention, even though they were not representing our country, but once the reports indicate that they are athletes, it is important for us to be concerned. So we have asked the security agencies to investigate, and once the investigation is concluded, the report will be given to the public. So, but let me also use this opportunity to warn all those who are hiding behind our hardworking and patriotic athletes in the name of helping athletes and abusing them, using various means to be assistant, just is to secure travels for people. If it is genuine competition sanctioned by the international federation body, all the federations are here, and that's why the Sports Act will normally ask you to report to the National Sports Authority. So if there is a genuine competition that you have to attend, we all know the procedure.
So that was the minister's response. So I don't know, Nathan, if the response makes sense in the flow of what you've explained. So these athletes go to Norway to take part in a marathon.
Yes.
They are Ghana Paralympic athletes. They needed a letter from the Ghana Paralympic Authority. We are told they forged a letter, but then they managed to get to Norway.
Yes.
They are in Norway, the team lead dies,
yes.
and one of them tries to
George Jamefi, let me make that correct. I said George Jamefi.
And then one of the team members tries to escape to Sweden, and the person is found. Yes. So do we know where the 11 of them are now?
No.
It's not clear whether they are back in Ghana or they are in Norway.
Yes, we are not sure whether they are back in Ghana or they are still there.
Now, then the second point is the person who died, the family was supposed to go and bring him back. But the minister didn't address this because I don't think it was brought to his attention.
No, I don't think he.
So the point around the fact that the team. So I don't. But is this confirmed that the team that went to bring him has also absconded?
Well, yes. I mean, this is coming from Samson Dean.
In an interview that he said this.
Yes. The National Paralympic Committee of Ghana. He's the president, and he said that the people who went to Norway to allegedly bring back the body of their dead relative, the late Mr. Jamefi, also absconded.
Now, but the minister in his statement did not take responsibility for this.
No, and
why he says it didn't come. He
says this did not come to his desk because officially, if Ghanaian teams are traveling anywhere, they will write, or their federation will write to the ministry to say that we have received this invitation, or we are going to take part in tournament X or tournament Y. So we need assistance in terms of traveling, or we need some funding. But whatever it is, the usual process or the regular process is that a sporting association or federation or a team through its superiors will speak to the ministry officially, so it is on record, so the ministry can provide whatever support, either monetary and or help with getting their travel documents.
So, but beyond saying that he didn't know anything about it, did he ask for the association, the Ghana Paralympic Federation or whatever they're called, to take responsibility? Because one report said that he says that it's the Norwegian embassy.
Well, yes, in his speech he laid the blame, or he seemed to lay the blame squarely on the Norwegian authority for not doing their checks. But that's quite strange, because if I mean, you can argue and say that, okay, the Norwegians should have called the ministry to find out. These people presented a letter purportedly signed by the president of the National Paralympic Committee. That's as good as it gets, really.
So basically, we are not damaging the credibility of institutions of state who now write to embassies.
Yes.
Because if a minister can blame an embassy for not being able to decipher a forged letter or whatever happened that led those people to go there illegally, it's like we are putting the burden on the embassy.
Yes,
So next time somebody writes a genuine letter to say Mr. Sky is going for a conference in Norway, they will probably then give you 3 weeks to verify with some forensic tests.
By which time the event is over.
And then we'll start accusing them of racism. and say that they don't want us to come to their country. So this is very damaging.
Yes,
and also, the other thing that baffles me is I haven't heard anybody being held responsible. So like Minister hasn't said, for example, that I want the Ghana Paralympic Authority to send me a report in 3 days of what happened so I can take an action. Do you get my point? So it's almost like it's not my fault, it ends there. But it shouldn't end there.
Of course.
If 11 athletes have gone to a country in our name, even if they didn't go and represent us at the event, to the extent that they are Ghanaian athletes going to take part in a sporting activity, we should be able to say somebody has to pay the price. It's about the responsibility. So I didn't listen to the full press conference, that's why I don't want to conclude, but it doesn't seem from the reports that anybody has been assigned the blame for this.
No, the chairman or the president of the National Paralympic Committee, what he did at his level was to suspend so he suspended two gentlemen. I think one is a secretary, another person I'm not too sure, and one other person he accused
of their association,
of their of forging of their involvement in this. So at his level he suspended two gentlemen, and I think he suspended
and these people work within the national.
They work within the National Paralympic.
Yeah, but that's the point. If they have taken part in allowing people who are not supposed to go, so this is the point. We have to clarify if it's true that the 11 people were never really supposed to be Paralympic athletes. Because if they were not, how come the team lead is dead and he's genuinely the team lead? Do you get it? So is that the team lead when it's some fake people? Do you get it? So we have to clarify whether the people who were there are genuine or not.
Yes.
Then number two, if they were not supposed to have gone based on Samson Dean's claim, how come they got the documents to go?
Yes.
Who signed the documents
Who signed
to
it?
go?
Yes.
Is that not forgery? Should somebody not be talking to the police? That's the second layer of question. Now, if it's even true that they were genuine athletes, the guy who tried to abscond, what are they doing to him? How did they do their checks to get him to go? So there are so many unanswered questions. And I'm not sure if the press conference, again, I didn't listen to the full press conference, so I don't want to conclude. But from the reports I've heard and the voice clip I've played, I don't seem to think the minister has nailed the real issue
No, not at all.
Why and how this will not happen again. If he throws the blame at the Norwegian embassy, I don't think that's enough. Because people don't get into a system like this just because the embassy doesn't do due diligence.
I honestly believe that the minister, if he was advised at all, has done such damage to diplomatic, relations that would have to take some effort to repair. Dealings like this ordinarily don't happen between two institutions.
Yes.
Ideally, if a delegation official is going from Ghana somewhere and there's a need to back a visa acquisition request with some official force, those should come in from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
To be fair, the minister did state that the regular process was that when official invitations come to his notice, what he does, and he says it in the voice, that he forwards those things to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so they clear those parts, and then he will do his part.
So it didn't happen without his knowledge.
So you see,
so they are doing their own thing.
Yeah, no, you see, but when such a thing happens and it is without your institution's knowledge, I don't think it speaks well for our diplomatic relations with Norway.
Now go and say that.
Now say that the
Norwegians should have
did
done
not
their
do
checks.
due diligence. First of all, own the problem. Say that you are instituting investigations to establish the full facts surrounding the matter. In the meantime, if there is a reference you have to make to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to engage with the Norwegians, do that. Because at that level, you are not dealing with some Sankwas institution somewhere.
Dealing with.
This is a whole institution that has, lawful representation in our country and which has international accreditation. So to just tell them that, they have not done due diligence, with the greatest respect to the minister, I don't think that he's been properly advised on the matter. If you have an issue, refer it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to deal with it.
Deal with it country to country.
In the meantime, if there are criminal elements involved, or there's an alleged commission of crime, please refer that to the appropriate institution. If it is a CID, in this case, make that reference. If it has to do with some other institution, do that. But the way he communicated, the government's position on the matter, I do not think speaks well of the government. And I think that they have to sanitize this going forward. But, Bernard, if you look at...
So let me just give some more information. Two persons, Mr. Theodore Mauli Viwoto, former General Secretary of the Ghana Amputee Football Association, and Mr. Yao Eisi, founder of the Ernest Stay Foundation, were suspended because their names were signed on the letters. The current General Secretary told us that Viwoto's signature was forged. All right, so that's
those were the names. That's what I was talking about. What Samson Dean has done at his level. So he has suspended these gentlemen because their names appeared on the letter.
But I don't think that merely merely referring or suspending the guys is enough.
No.
There has got to be an investigation done to establish who is culpable for the things we're talking about. Because this is not the first time under this government visa issues are coming up. Remember the Australia
2018, the Commonwealth Games saga, and there was that whole embarrassing episode of Ghanaians getting stopped at Australian airports because the Australians had a suspicion that something funny was going on. People were asked if they were journalists, and they claimed yes. And they were asked, okay, so how are you going to write your Commonwealth Games story when you cover? He said, I'll write it with a pen and paper. And one gentleman was stopped, and he said, so he was asked, so the security official took a recorder and asked him, do you know what this is? He couldn't identify what it was.
Which is a basic tool of every
journalist. Basic tool. So it's very embarrassing. Okay. So Sky,
they put people into the thing we're not supposed to be part.
Yes.
You see, and Bernard, all of these things do not just affect government relations with the other world, right? They affect every citizen.
Yeah.
If purported official communication originating from a government institution
can be forged,
can be said to have been forged, what do you say of an institution which is not government institution writing a letter telling a diplomatic institution that I am sending this staff of mine to say the US to do A, B, and C, and that I am guaranteeing that he is traveling on my sponsorship during his stay there. I am responsible for what happens there, and I can guarantee that after the program he will return to this country. Now, if a government institution's letter can be forged, and then we just blame the embassy, what it means is that we are undermining communication between us and the other world. And at the level of diplomacy, this is a no-no. The minister ought to have known better. The question is, did he speak with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs before holding the press conference that he held?
I doubt.
That's a good one. Because you shouldn't have directly.
Yes.
No, you don't do that.
It's you are dealing with very sensitive issues, right? Of state-to-state relationships. The last thing you want is to create a problem, right? That's difficult to manage. What he should have done, you see, because there are several parts of this. There's a criminal aspect of it, which is alleged forgery and all of misrepresentation, impersonation. Those are criminal aspects.
By the way, just look at it. The letter the National Security Ministry wrote, if you can retrieve it, I want to know what their real concern was. Whether they were asking the Ministry of Sports to confirm or to investigate, because that's, I think, the genesis of all of this. For a Ministry of National Security to write to two ministries to lay out these very disturbing details, I think they are very, very, concerning. Number two, I have other issues that the minister dealt with at the press conference that I'll bring, but these are, I think, subsidiary matters. The main issue is the travel to Norway and the abscondment. Is that the word?
Absconsation.
So Bernard, what that means that the squad that represented the country impersonated an actual squad. So do we have a national squad representing us there?
Yes.
So this is the letter. I think you should read the letter
from National Security.
Yes,
to put it in context for all of us.
So this comes from the Ministry of National Security. It says Ghana Paralympic team absconds upon arrival in Oslo. Reports indicate the absconding of members of the Ghana Paralympic team to other Schengen states following their arrival in Oslo on the 25th of April 2024 for the Fieldcraft Bergen City Marathon. It was gathered that the 11-member team failed to register and participate in the competition slated for the 27th of April, so they didn't take part. Further, Nana Entry, a team member, was apprehended and detained on the 26th of April by Norwegian security officials after attempting to depart Norway to Sweden on a one-way train ticket. It wasn't like he was going to come by one way. Consequently, the Norwegian embassy in Accra has issued alerts to other Schengen and Western diplomatic missions in Accra and the European Border Coast Guard Agency as part of efforts to apprehend and repatriate the team members. Relatedly, George Jemfi Jesse, the team coach, collapsed on the 28th of April and was admitted to the Oslo University Hospital, Olival, where he passed away on the 17th of May. It says, kindly find attached details of the Ghana team and other relevant documents. Of course, this is not captured in what we are reading. So which means that from this, we can deduce that the Ministry of National Security has details on the said team.
And who was it sent to?
Now, this was sent to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, because I see the Foreign Affairs Minister's name here.
You see?
And the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
So there are two issues there. The Sports Ministry, because they are covering the team, and then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because they would be the ones who relate to the Norwegians.
Exactly.
Now, has the Foreign Ministry said anything about this?
I am yet to come across anything that the Foreign Ministry has said. I'm still...
But, this is... I don't even understand. And the Minister of Youth... Okay, so now that we have this background, let's listen to the Minister of Sports again. So let me see if now it can... So I want you to play back what he said. Because now we have the full background. So this is what the Minister said yesterday at the press conference.
So the attention of the Ministry of Youth and Sports has been drawn to a publication about some 11 Ghanaians Paralympic athletes purported to have absconded whilst in Oslo, Norway, to participate in the Food Draft Bergen City Marathon. The report also indicated that the coach of the team, George Jemfi Jesse, had collapsed and was admitted at Oslo University Hospital, where he later passed away. Additionally, one other member of the team, that's Nana Entry, was arrested and detained by the Norwegian security officials whilst attempting to travel to Sweden by train. The Ministry of National Security has alerted my ministry, that's the Ministry of Youth and Sports here, about the issue. And we have since responded to the National Security Minister and the other security agencies to investigate the issue. By way of education, we wish to state the following: that in relation to visa assistance, that's protocol assistance to all the federations in Ghana, and I know most of you distinguished media are even abreast with how we operate at the ministry, or travel arrangements for all athletes. If an athlete and the ministry and the Ministry of Youth and Sports work with our technical agency, that's the National Sports Authority, for visa assistance who participate in international competitions. So any federation that is recognized by the National Sports Authority, if they want to travel for their international competitions or even local national competitions, they will normally, if they need assistance from us, from government, they will normally write to the National Sports Authority. The National Sports Authority will do their due diligence, then reports same with recommendation to the ministry, then we take action. In this case, in this Norwegian case, there was no in to either the National Sports Authority or the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So the ministry were not aware about any, and the team that went wasn't also representing Ghana, as it has been reported in some of the media. So the Norwegian authorities, that's the embassies, to never even had the opportunity. Normally, even the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we don't issue letters directly to any of the embassies. We normally will write to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for Ministry of Foreign Affairs to then work on our behalf to any of the specific embassies or missions. So for the record, this purported Ghana Paralympic team is not true. They are not in any of the tournament because we were not in the picture. The Ministry of Youth and Sports then transmits the communication to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration to facilitate the acquisition of relevant visas and appropriate embassies and consulate office. But I've just explained that. So we should state that we are working. We want to assure you, the media, that even though it has come to our attention, even though they were not representing our country, but once the reports indicate that they are athletes, it is important for us to be concerned. So we have asked the security agencies to investigate, and once the investigation is concluded, the report will be given to the public. So, but let me also use this opportunity to warn all those who are hiding behind our hardworking and patriotic athletes in the name of helping athletes and abusing them, using various means to be assistant, just is to secure travels for people. If it is genuine competition sanctioned by the International Federation body, all the federations are here, and that's why the Sports Act will normally ask you to report to the National Sports Authority. So if there is a genuine competition that you have to attend, we all know the procedure.
So that was Minister Yusuf. So Sky, I think listening to him carefully, the way I understand this is this: if there's an official team to travel, or even an athlete going to travel to do a sporting event for and on behalf of Ghana, the Athletes Association or the body will deal with the National Sports Authority, and the Sports Authority will then write to the Ministry of Sports, who will then advise or alert the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to engage on the visa side of things. His point is that in this particular case, nothing came to the NSA and nothing came to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and therefore the ministry didn't even write to Foreign Affairs. So if an embassy is facilitating travel for people who are purportedly athletes, you've not seen anything from NSA, you've not seen anything from Ministry of Sports, you've not seen anything from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, why are you granting the visa?
No.
That's number one. I'm echoing his argument.
Okay.
Number two,
There's
you have not called us to
there's,
check.
There's something there.
Okay.
The question is whether the document that the mission was dealing with came in from the appropriate quarters. So it is not as though the foreign, the Norwegian mission has not seen any document backing the request for visa. They saw a document according to the reports, or if the reports are to be believed. But the question is whether the document that came to them was forged or came in from official quarters. So let's do that.
Are we sure what the Norwegians haven't spoken about this? So I don't know what
they themselves said that someone had signed a document backing the request for visa. Is that not what
that document was signed? See, don't forget, there's Samson Dean, who is the association.
Mm-hmm.
So we have not been told that NSA or Ministry of Youth and Sports document has been forged. What we are told is that
a letter with Samson Dean.
There are 4 levels here: an athlete, his federation, the Sports Authority, the Ministry of Sports, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, Ministry of the Federation deals with the NSA. NSA deals with the Ministry of Sports. Ministry of Sports deals with the Foreign Affairs. Foreign Affairs deals with the Norwegian.
Yeah.
Now, what has been reportedly forged is a signature of the federation head, which is the Association of Paralympics.
Yes.
We are not told if NSA documents were added. We are not told if Ministry of Sports documents were added. And we are not told if Foreign Affairs was involved. So the minister's point, and again, I'm re-echoing what he said, not necessarily because I believe it, but his point is that our association or our authority, NSA, was not involved in this. And we have also not been involved. So what we need to find out from Norwegians is that
what documentation did they receive for them to give
for the for the visa confirmation? Was it just the letter with Samson Dean or his forged signature, as in the association? Did they see any document from the authority purportedly? Did they see any document from the Ministry of Sports or the Foreign Affairs? Do you understand my level? So I think based on what the minister has said, it may not be the best way to do it. Maybe the Norwegians have to come out and issue a statement to say, this was why we give these guys a visa. Because now he's thrown the thing back to them.
You see, no, Bernard. The point that I made earlier, which still remains valid, is that where there is evidence, at least from the documents we have seen thus far, that a group of citizens claiming to be of a certain category had made requests for visa, which visas were issued by a foreign mission here in Ghana. They got into the jurisdiction they were supposed to do an event. They were supposedly representing you and I as citizens of this country there.
When they got, they
didn't play the tournament, and they fled.
One of them tried to escape.
Unfortunately, somebody died. One of them tried to escape. They caught him. And then that information becomes available or comes to the attention of the Ministry of National Security. Now, what did they do? The first thing they did was to write a report, copied, first of all, the minister responsible for foreign affairs.
Which means they understand the chain.
They understand the chain.
Okay.
And then also copied the minister for sports.
Good.
Now, the question I'm asking is, if you have any evidence whatsoever that this thing did not originate from your quarters or you don't have anything to do with it, the way to handle it is not to organize a press conference and seek to indict the foreign mission.
So you should summon the people below you.
Exactly.
And let them give you a report.
Exactly.
But we don't know if they've done that.
He said that there's some investigation they have asked the security agencies to do.
Okay.
But you see, to seek to indict a foreign mission operating in Ghana is a no-no.
Okay.
What you do is refer the matter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and let them deal with it at that level.
And then you deal with your NSA.
Then you deal with the NSA and the Paralympic.
Do you know anything about this?
Exactly.
And the NSA will ask the association.
Yes.
And then you so you can do an internal investigation as a ministry. Let the Foreign Affairs deal with the Norwegians.
Yes.
But you don't deal with all of that at the press conference.
No.
All right, let's listen to Neil Antivanapoi, former sports minister, member of parliament for the Dodio. He weighed in on the matter on Eyewitness News with some thoughts.
Let me say no. Because there is no way the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will have given a note verbal to the embassy without an authority note and letter from the Ministry of Youth and Sports or the National Sports Authority. Even when the letter is from the Federation, it is addressed to the National Sports Authority and then to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports are the one who will collaborate with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a note verbal to be put on the request and then transmitted to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and that will also be transmitted and forwarded to the embassy before visas are issued.
But in this case, an allegation of forgery has been made where the letterhead was forged, the signature was forged. It's only possible that the note verbal was also forged. Clearly, the embassy that issues these visas should have done a little more thorough job, don't you think?
Well, the embassy cannot be blamed. Alexander, what do you expect? We are talking about a regime under which we've seen situations where people were virtually made athletes, journalists and reporters when they are not during the Australia Olympic Commonwealth Games. You all know what happened, the Commonwealth visa scandal. And in that situation, government apparatchik, government officials, state officials were involved. What has come out of that issue? What has come out of that case? Under this government, everything is possible. Everything. Even a man could be turned into a woman under this government. I will not be surprised if this so-called issue of forged documents and the rest had an official endorsement. If this has not blown out, who would have heard about it? So we've seen it before, where there was official complicity in the issuance of visa for people to go to Commonwealth Games in Australia when they are not actually athletes, when they are not journalists. They misrepresented themselves and they were sent there. So if it has happened again with an amputee team, which is not our national amputee team, according to the president of the Ghana Disabled Sports Association, then who do you blame? I will require an independent body doing the investigation, but not the ministry itself doing the investigation.
Okay, but I'm just looking at the quotes from the minister. He said that the ministry would have expected that the embassy would contact them to check if these people are genuine or not. If this did not happen, again, I'm just wondering why we should put the blame on the ministry. And now that he says he's going to investigate, you don't trust the investigative process, of course, but again, the embassy should take some blame, don't you think? And the minister should have clean hands.
I don't think so. One, you see, most of the embassies, born out of the respect that they have for the sovereignty of the state, when they have a note verbal, hardly would they want to go back and check whether the note verbal is genuine. Most of the time they don't, because it is out of respect for the state seal that is on that letter. Because in their jurisdiction, they don't think anybody could have access to a state seal like that. So if there's a note verbal with a state seal on it, hardly would they want to think that that is a forged letter. So we must trace the source of that forged document. You can't blame the embassy. It is the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the National Sports Authority who should first be sure and authenticate that the list of people that have been sent to their office for the note verbal to be written are genuine, are people who are representative of the particular federation that they say they are going to represent. What stopped that ministry or that official at the ministry who forwarded the letter to the Ministry of Youth, Minister of Foreign Affairs for a note verbal from calling the president of the federation to ask, the general secretary of the president of the federation to ask first before issuing that letter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? And what stopped the Minister of Foreign Affairs person who issued a note verbal from calling the Minister of Youth and Sports or the Chief Director of the National Sports Authority to find out whether these persons who have applied to be given a note verbal were truly a representation of the country, the foreign office, who don't know our players?
So Nilante seems to be agreeing with you here that the Ministry of Sports must take responsibility for this faux pas, because there's no way the Norwegians will grant a visa to athletes without something purportedly from that ministry. So if for nothing at all, if the minister says they're not involved, then he's been misrepresented or somebody has forged something from their side. So they have to also get to the bottom of it, because if the procedures believed, the Norwegians will not give a visa without foreign ministry note verbal. Foreign ministry will not issue that without Ministry of Sports confirmation.
Yeah, so
Ministry of Sports confirmation will not occur without NSA request. NSA request will not happen without Paralympic Committee's letter. So either there have been a series of forgeries or somebody in the chain is not admitting to their own error.
So you see, note verbal ordinarily is a document originating from one government institution or some other institution. Normally it happens within the diplomatic world. So when you issue it, you are saying, for instance, that Bernard works with the African Union mission in Ethiopia. He's to attend, an event in, let's say Singapore. He needs a visa as quickly as possible to be able to do that. So your name is provided, your passport number is provided. If some other people are traveling with you, their specific name, all of those details are added. So when the consular or whoever is working on the visa sees it, he knows that, oh, this is coming in from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or it's coming in from the African Union mission in Ghana or Ethiopia, wherever. So it is normally an official document. When they see it, there's a certain level of confidence in it. You understand? It carries a lot of weight. Now, the question that we are asking is whether in the chain of events something like that happened. It would seem that there was a document based upon which the Norwegians relied. The question is whether that document came in from the right institution. If it did not come from the right institution, can we now interrogate to find out who actually sat down to work on it? The person who worked on it, is he somewhere within the institutions that normally would act on these things? And if he is within these institutions, did he act with lawful authority? If he did not, Is there a punishment for that? That is what investigations should actually do and establish exactly who is culpable in this particular case. But merely seeking to pass the kick the can, I really think
let me read
an
a
excessive
few
requirement.
comments here, which I think will throw more light on the matter. So this person is involved in football. He says, Bernard, the Norwegian embassy is one of the most transparent we have in Ghana. For instance, it's the only embassy of the other Scandinavian countries that still issues visas to Ghanaian footballers to go on trials without insisting on already secured contracts.
Wow.
As a condition like the Danes and the Swedes do. This development might have a cascading effect on all of us. So, see the thing you were talking about. Bernard, I'm enjoying your conversation on the Oslo visa scandal. Truth be told, issues like these pop up. We just talk about it without getting to the bottom of the matter. This has been the order of the day. Even the so-called Ministry of Foreign Affairs staff collect money and passports from people. Our draft letter cover for these, especially when there's government delegations traveling. In fact, they will tell you that's where I make my money and how much is my salary. Please don't mention my name. Good morning, team. In 2009, the Australia team invited Ghana's deaf and dumb soccer team for an international friendly. There was utter shock in Australia as Ghana's deaf and dumb soccer team started singing Jama songs in their team band. The hosts were left in utter dismay after realizing that Ghana's team could hear and speak. As a result, the Australians no longer trust in the genuineness of any team presented by Ghana.
I remember they actually wrote and demanded a refund of their expenses, of what they had expended on bringing the Ghanaian team.
Which explains the strict scrutinization of Team Ghana and the eventual deportation of some fake journalists at the 2018 Commonwealth Games. We are just disgracing ourselves, and also embassies are going to be hard on us. This is DJ Nature writing from Italia.
Bernard, as we speak, we are getting ready for the US and Canada.
We are even ready Olympic Games.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
in France.
Then you have US coming up, right? A lot of Ghanaians are hoping that Ghana will qualify and they will have the opportunity to travel. Now, when these things happen, it is not as if some other embassies or missions are not watching.
They watch. They watch to each other.
So you expect that when it happened in 2009 and another happened subsequently, right? The one involving the former deputy minister, under the Akufo-Addo administration. His name was mentioned. Yes. I'm not to say that he did anything wrong, but, his name was linked to it. You'd expect that some proper investigation will be done as to clear the name of the Republic, hold people accountable, punish them for it.
Yeah.
But as is with almost everything else in this country, embarrassment is brought to all of us and nobody is held accountable. In the case of the Australia one, in the case of the one you spoke about a short while ago, I mean, who was held accountable? Who was punished for that conduct? And so the Americans will now take their pen and paper and be looking closely at all the claims that we'll be making, asking for visa to go and support the Black Stars in the US or Canada.
They'll be bouncing us.
Exactly. And what that also does is that people who genuinely want to travel for education or to go and do some business are being asked to bring all kinds of things.
Just because of the conduct of people like this.
Exactly. And the question that I ask myself is, as Ghanaians, what are our values? We say we are truthful. Is it really the case? What is the honor in claiming that you are A, B, C, D and that you are going to do A, B, C, D when in fact everybody knows that you can speak and you are not deaf and dumb?
But let's read some more comments. 4 family members to go and retrieve the dead body from.
And that report, I don't know if it's confirmed, but it's reported that the 4 have also absconded, and that has not been confirmed officially. But let's read some comments coming through.
Bernard and team, why are you surprised about the family running away after getting the opportunity to travel to
Norway?
To Norway, yeah.
Okay. We'll open the comments.
Okay. After getting the opportunity to run away from the current harsh economic condition in which we are now, the death of the coach has become more than a blessing. No.
Okay, so that's
Junior Blade from Community 25. Is there any part of the process where the immigration team is alerted as check at the airport? Question, you didn't add your name. You heard about 1,000 Ghanaians go to Brazil for the World Cup and all claimed asylum to stay in Brazil and started their journey to the States.
Serious?
You didn't add your name.
Wait, which one?
The Brazil tournament, we told a lot of people went there and claiming asylum.
I know.
That they want to go to US through Brazil.
Yeah, so from there to the US is shorter for many of you. So some people even do, trot move from one South American state to another, stay for some time. Some walk, move to the other, and then they get closer to the US border through Mexico.
I know a serial caller. The Black Princesses went to Papua New Guinea and he didn't come back.
But what's he going to do there?
Anywhere apart from Ghana.
Papua New Guinea.
Yes. It's getting close to you.
Yeah, I know a serial caller.
Papua New Guinea. Yes. So you end up in Australia or what?
Maybe that's the end game.
But they'll know you are not from there. Papua New Guinea, they know each other.
They are blacks there.
There is a fact that is not being adequately addressed. Sports in recent times are being used as a vehicle for visa racketeering. This Norway and Gold Coast Commonwealth Games matters are the few stories that got out into the public domain.
So sports is being used.
Yes, sports.
It's being used, not are being used.
So even when you say sports...
Sports is one. It's a collective now.
Right.
Sport is being used.
Hashtag Citi
when I was writing my master's thesis. Dr. Chidanso.
You don't even to get to master's to know
after one chapter, he said, hey.
Continue.
This is similar to what happened under Paris Haji. The deaf and dumb supporters were seen magically singing and singing Jama, but this minister to why? Not too long ago, we saw how he dealt with the amputees team that won the African Cup after they visited the former president, were given some donations by the former president. This is Jimmy Danso. Jimmy from Dansuman Accra. Hello, Citi CBS team. This issue of some fake team representing Ghana in Norway and some absconding is really not a new thing in sports ministry and the National Sports Authority. There are officials there who have made this a business to add people to traveling sports contingents and sometimes fake documents for others to travel. There's nothing new under the sun, but this has become public knowledge, and they are making some officials suffer to clear their shame. Richard KB, a year from Accra. Good morning, Bernard and team. My name is Richard from Spintex. The sports minister is still at post. I want to ask how does this compare to Secret Service Director issue in the US? Such a thing has happened and you don't care sacrificing the diplomatic relations. Nilante said in his interview with Umaru that the Norwegian embassy would have shown disrespect to Ghana, having seen the note verbal from Foreign Affairs. God save Ghana.
All right.
Bernard, it will be interesting to know who and how air tickets were obtained for the absconded Paralympic athletes out of from New Bawe. Send that through.
All right, when we come back, we'll deal with two other issues that affect the ministry. So there have also been reports from hoteliers who said they will sue the Ministry of Youth and Sport over the unpaid funds after accommodating guests for the 13th African Games. The minister sought to address this in a press conference. And then we had a program a couple of days ago where we spoke about abandoned youth resource centers. Yes. He also spoke on that matter as well.
Yeah,
all of this and more.
Yeah,
when we come back.
Just before you go, there's a message coming in to us. Good morning, Citi. Please, there's a body looking dead on the Achimota overhead area. Grateful that you make this announcement for the assembly in the area to pick up the body. A number of messages have come in similar to this. So please, the authorities. This? So there is a body, we're told, most likely a dead body, on the Achimota overhead, area. And it looks like it's affecting traffic. And also, if you're not careful, we're told that part of the body is on the road. So if you're not careful, you could run over it. So the relevant ministry or the relevant local authority should move into that area, or the police, to go and retrieve the body and do the needful.
Also, a quick announcement. Dear valued customer, MTN is undertaking a network upgrade across the country. As a result, you may experience some disruptions in service during the period. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. Thank you for your understanding.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's
Information: UPSA is has an honorific election award at the Kofi Ohene Kunedo Auditorium on the 25th of July, which is today, at 5 p.m. recognizing the lifetime achievement and works of Nana Dr. S.K.B. Asante, featuring Excellency the President of Ghana. And of course, they will be honoring His Excellency, the Paramount Chief of Asante Asokore and former Director, UN Center for Transnational Corporations. In attendance, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Tokonu, Chief Justice of the Republic, Honorable Godfrey Dame, Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, and Professor Kofi Abuchi, UPSA School of Law Dean. It's happening today. Kofi Ohene Kunedo Auditorium, UPSA, 5 p.m. Partner Benti Angel, Lecha and Ankoma. So make a date with their honorific lecture and award, the lifetime achievement. You should watch Nana Dr. S.K.B. Asante on Footprints. It was amazing. It's a really great Ghanaian. You know, the time he started working for Ghana, our fathers were not even born. I'm telling you, Charlie, the guy, he's done all, man. All right, let's talk about a couple of things before we jump back into the Ministry of Sports and all their travails.
Yes, Latex Foam is saying walk into their showroom and see great mattresses and furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. And I'm urging you to do so, because last night when you slept on your mattress, it was sagging. Now you've woken up and you are not feeling too well in your back. So go to Latex Foam. Call them on 0302-231155 or visit their website, latexfoamghana.com. Remember, Latex Foam is your partner for life. If you are building or you want to build or you have plans and you want to do that, Diamond Cement is what you need. They are 42.5 R grade cement. It's the highest quality on the Ghanaian market. If you don't have that kind of money and you want something more affordable, try the 32.5 R grade, because it's great value for your pocket. Call Diamond Cement on 0202-021175, or you can go to their factories at Aplao, Takrade, and Buipe. Diamond Cement still hard as a diamond.
Let's talk about Twisco. People, is an exciting new chocolate beverage out there from the producers of Cowbell. Permit me to introduce you to Twisco, with a blend of premium cocoa powder enriched with NFL, a combination of energy boosting minerals and vitamins including B and many more. Twisco is available in 20 grams and can be found at your nearest neighborhood store in a delightful red sachet for only 1 cedi 80 pesos. To enjoy all the goodness packed in a sachet, empty contents into a mug, mixed with 180 ml of previously boiled water, mixed with milk and stir. You're good to go. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. Now, which bank in Ghana is always at your service? Omni Basic. Which bank is ready to assist you with their 24-hour state-of-the-art contact center? Omni Basic. Which bank in Ghana is the fastest growing corporate bank and bank of the year 2023? People, Omni Basic. At Omni Basic Bank, we are always at your service. So call us on 0307 086 000 or 0302 758 555, or visit any of our branches nationwide to open an Omni Basic Bank account today and enjoy exceptional customer service. Omni Basic Bank at your service.
Now, Eden Heights is a well-planned and secured gated community with access to a great sports complex. They've got a pool, a tennis court, basketball court, football pitch, running tracks, and all of that. And the buildings are absolutely brilliant. Call them on 050-153-1444 or visit them on their website, edenheights.com.gh, for more details. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. If you want to send money all around, then the Express Pay app is what you need, and the prices are very, very low. If you send 100, you pay 1 cedi, 200, you pay 2 cedis, and if you send anything above 1,000, you pay 10 cedis as well. Download the Express Pay app for simplified payments and a 24-hour customer service, tiny fees, and a full car tank. And they are in partnership with over 9 banks in Ghana. Remember, T's and C's apply.
Let's go back to the Ministry of Sports. The press conference addressed 3 critical points. So apart from the scandal regarding the Oslo, Australia, the Norway thing, the Hoteliers Association have been making claims about being owed money. Now, they said that about 80% of the bills from All Africa Games are not being paid. Now, the minister did admit that they do owe, but the amount and the percentage was much lower. So here is what the minister said about that particular issue.
We engaged 44 hotels during the African Games. 44 hotels were engaged during the African Games. And as we speak, only 28 of them, that's the ministry owe. The rest have all been paid full 100%. So when I see the reports, over 48 hotels threatened to sue the Ministry for Youth and Sports because of non-payment of bills, that the reports is not accurate. Then the 28 that are left that we are still owing, almost all of them, we have paid them more than 40%. And as and when we receive funding, because when you have budget doesn't mean that you have the money seated. As and when we get releases, the rest payment will be catered for. In fact, even last week, some of the hotels were here to pay their checks. So the report is not accurate and it is not true. The truth of the matter is what I've just indicated.
So there are hotels owed, but not the level of indebtedness described. Fair enough. We'll deal with that shortly. But there's also another issue that's even more concerning, where the youth resource centers built in 10 locations have been left to rot. Now, of the 10 plant centers, only the Koforidua Multipurpose Center has been completed and commissioned. That was where the Independence Day celebrations were held in Koforidua. Yeah. We've had videos of some of the places like Ho, with the place overrun with grass and things. Now, the ministry is trying to say that it's insufficient funding that has left the place the way it is. Yeah. Here's his response to what we reported a couple of days ago. Yusuf Mustafa speaking about the youth resource centers all over the country left overgrown with weeds.
6 of the 10 youth resource centers, both phase 1 and phase 2, are ongoing. And very soon, we have challenges with some of them, and I must admit, with regards to payment to the contractors. But because the contractors have not handed over the project to us, you can't go and use it because we have not commissioned them. The challenges have to do with payment of their certificates, but we are working very hard to make sure that they get their payment and they can go back and complete them for us to put them to good use. Then the 4 that we had issues with the contractors, that's Azuma Nelson, Youth Resource Centers in the Greater Accra here, Yindi in the Northern region, Navrungu in the Upper East region, and Mineyine in the Ashanti region. Mineyine, recently we asked the contractor of the phase 2 to start. In fact, he has started, and he has to also abandon site because of payment. But the second phase has started, and he has to abandon again because of payment. But let me assure you.
I don't know if you guys buy this explanation that the projects, because of lack of funding, the contractors have not finished. Because the videos we saw, you have a stadium-like structure, you have green grass, you have seats, and the place will grown with weeds. So even if the place is not finished, are you saying that for a year you just leave it like that? Because once you leave a project, look, we know this. If you put up a building and you leave it unfinished or 90% finished and nobody uses it, it deteriorates. So you're going to need more money to bring it to normal state. So I wasn't at a press conference. I don't know if they pressed him on this, but I don't think that's enough to say that, well, the contractor is not finished, there's no money. So we've spent 1.8 million cedis on a facility, we should just leave it like that? I don't think this is correct. Yep. You know, and sometimes the way we deal with state resources, it's really shocking. A country that's going through a debt exchange, a country that is broke, has enough money to spend on a youth resource center and leave it like that, and then turn around and say the contractor, so you can't do anything. Seriously? You can't, you mean, so the contractor will keep that thing that way until we get money to pay him the rest? Is that how government business works? I mean, am I misinterpreting the contract? A government has given you money to build a project, mind you, some of those projects were used and left. He says there's only a few which didn't have money to start, like the Kaneshi. We understand that. But the whole one, I've seen the video. Are you telling me that that facility cannot be used to host sports events? I mean, honestly, Sky, I don't know. Maybe there's some contract between a government and a contractor if it's not being paid. You get me? Because if you leave it that way, it's going to get worse and you're going to need more money to finish it.
Yeah,
I don't think they are being proactive. Honestly, I am disappointed. You know, I look, Sky, sometimes in the public interest, you can take actions and be justified to say, you cannot allow an investment like this to rot. How many young people in those places have places to even play football? You can host sporting events there. Okay? So even if the project is not complete, unless it's a danger to people, okay, we don't know the state of the place. You know, there are some facilities that if they are unfinished, if you use it, people are in danger. But from what I've seen, you cannot tell me that that facility should be left to be overgrown with weeds. There's a whole list of projects left abandoned, all in the name of we don't have money to finish it. I don't think that's correct.
And you see, the minister makes it so difficult to want to, cut him some slack. You are the minister for sports. We are told that grassroots football is dying. Many of our youth are engaging in things they should not get themselves involved with because they don't have any ways of entertaining themselves or channeling their energy so as to become something useful. We see many of them play on very dangerous fields, hurting themselves in the process. Now, if the government thought it wise to make an investment of the size we're talking about in these spaces, let's assume that we have run out of money, right? While we look for money to come and finish the project, should we allow what we have built that far to deteriorate? No.
That's the question.
So a minister who is well aware of his responsibilities will say that, okay, let me find a way of engaging these facilities in a meaningful way, even as we find money to complete it.
Let me bring you Pius. He also spoke on this, then we'll bring a full conversation. Pius Enamajide is the CEO of the Youth Authority. He is now saying that the projects have delayed due to some challenges leading to an increase in prices of goods. So this is his answer.
From today's meeting, we are hopeful that in the coming days, work will resume on all of the other 5. And we are hopeful that within the coming months, we should commission the 5 other projects and then we can put them to use. On the issue of the cost, we are in the process. As I'm sure you all know, the phase 2 contract was signed sometime in 2020, and due to some challenges, which has a background, and we can deal with the background subsequently, the work was delayed. So we have had to do a variation because the prices of things have changed, and so we are in the process to complete the variations, and so I prefer that we can wait for those processes to terminate and then we can put the real cost. You know that the nature of the contract is a reinvestment contract, so the contractors have done some work and then they will raise certificates and pay them. I don't want to mention how much you have paid to the contractors. That will be very small. We are talking about the contract sum. Very soon, the variations will have been approved by the Public Procurement Authority, and then we can put those out.
So did you understand what he said? Or should I play it again? Let me play it again because maybe we are not concentrated. Let's play it again so we know what he's saying. This is the NYA boss.
From today's meeting, we are hopeful that in the coming days, work will resume on all of the other 5. And we are hopeful that within the coming months, we should commission the 5 other projects and then we can put them to use. On the issue of the cost, we are in the process. As I'm sure you all know, the phase 2 contract was signed sometime in 2020, and due to some challenges, which has a background, and we can deal with the background subsequently, the work was delayed. So we have had to do a variation because the prices of things have changed. And so we are in the process to complete the variations. And so I prefer that we can wait for those processes to terminate, and then we can put the real cost. You know that the nature of the contract is a reinvestment contract. So the contractors have done some work, and then they will raise certificates and pay them. And I don't want to mention how much you have paid to the contractors. That will be very small. We are talking about the contract sum. Very soon, the variations will have been approved by the Public Procurement Authority, and then we can put those out.
Charlie?
So somehow everybody went to sleep, and when we started talking, they have found a way of reviving the project. So hopefully some agreement has been reached so that they will very soon, according to him, go and start work. But it's really tiring seeing these things happen every single year in our country. Projects get started,
Charlie.
Investment is made, mobilization is paid in many cases, and then they lock it up. Somehow, some of the money, people don't even account for it. And then the project stalls. And when we talk, then they find some money somewhere, some procurement is done, and then I don't think this is how we should be using the public resources of this country. It is not right. Imagine it is your own money that you are investing that way.
And you leave it for since 2020.
2020. The thing has... I don't get it.
And it's like because the media has made some noise, they are looking for some money to be released.
Exactly.
So the thing lying there for 3 years is not your concern.
I mean, what reports go through the Ministry of Sports, the minister's desk? What reports does he see every single day on these ongoing projects?
It's amazing.
You understand? Compare that with what happened with the the Attorney General's Department. For a long time, they realized that they had issues with the spaces they needed to use. The lawyers were hanging in containers, all kinds of places. The law house that they have built, it was there for a long time. Nobody was doing anything about it. When the new minister came, he said, no, we cannot allow this office building, which we started so many years ago, to be rotting away while we are having lawyers sit in containers. When you go to the old ministry, you see in some cases lawyers state attorneys sitting and working in containers. So they decided to quickly find a way of addressing.
A former head of legislative drafting in a container office.
Can you imagine?
At the ministry, because the ministry was too small.
So he did something about it. So now we have an ultra-modern facility next to the court complex, which is now housing
you can
the
say
lawyers.
The same about Job 600.
Exactly.
That thing had been there since Kwame Nkrumah's time. It was Mills who came to do it.
Professor Mills saw it and said, no way. Look, MPs were operating from their car boots. So he did it. Michael Quay has done some expansion.
But you see, this one, these people initiated it themselves. So it's not even something they inherited.
2018.
So this is not even like you came to inherit it. But this is a project you started that you left.
So I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like we have so much lack of creativity in how to find resources to fix problems that we started ourselves, that when people talk, that is when you find a way of creating something small for people to now go and do the work.
You're serious?
Where I mean, the initiative they have taken now, where was it all along? That they did not realize that, look, the youth of this country need spaces that they can actually deploy their energy to become something useful tomorrow. Why should we talk for them to now go and do something about it? I honestly believe that we need a new set of leaders who think about the public purse of this country.
I'm telling you.
Don't just spend out of the public purse, and when questions emerge, you are now finding a way of dealing with. Look at what's happening with Agenda 111. We're told that mobilization has been paid to all kinds of people. Spaces have been cleared. The contractors have not gone back to work. Meanwhile, they have collected the money.
They are waiting for second tranche.
Why?
That's the construction.
And you see, what is unfortunate is that you wait until the government changes, a new government is in power, and they are prosecuting you. Then you say, which hand? And then we won't go to parliament.
No, they'll say they are owed. They will say they are owed money, so they should pay them. They will say arrears. And they will form a committee to do arrears, and then they will share for everybody to get his own. They will call it FX losses something. Charlie, but here are some more comments. Caleb, you wanted to make a comment there?
Yeah, Bernard, it looks as though when the media takes its attention off one issue, you move to the other thing. By the time you come back to the issue you took your eyes off, then it's getting worse. As we are speaking now, the day we will have time to look at our water bodies, the issue of Galamsey, suddenly you see press conferences. When was the last time you heard about the Operation Halt? I don't know the last time it was the media to go because our attention is on something else.
So they are also doing the damage.
Thank you.
So we come back.
So by the time we'll come back to this story again, the empires will come and tell us these same well-rehearsed lines and with a very good composure as though they are sad. You don't get any sense of urgency, any passion that drives. When you even listen to them, you look at the
public press is not.
No, there's no sense of urgency. Say, Jumani, it's getting some results and it matters to us. This is the effort we have put in so far. This is why we're having this challenge. But barring these challenges, these are the efforts we've taken A, B, C, and D. Because Bernard, with all the reasons that the NYA boss is telling us, I mean, what is the justification that when you go to his office, behind his office, where he goes to work every day, the facility that has been built there is overrun by weeds? What's the justification?
No, this one is the one at
the Carnation one.
As for that one, there was no funding secured for it, according to what I'm told. So the 5 that have been done and left are the ones that are generating.
But your office where he works,
your very office.
Yeah, but that one, that one they should weed it. But my point is that they haven't given it out for somebody to do.
What?
You get me? So it's not like
so
it's not being done.
So it should be overgrown.
No, it's different. We are talking about abandoned or unfinished project.
That's
as against project that has been left for 70 years.
Yes, but there are those that were also done that have been left to rot. Really,
it's true.
What's the justification for those ones? How are we managing these ones?
Tamale Sports Stadium, right? What is the name number? Aliu Muhammad. I saw videos from there the other day.
Have you seen a Sipon?
Yeah.
What kind of country is that?
What's happening to Sipon?
It's in a very, very
it's decrepit.
It's decrepit now.
So it's like there's no maintenance money or what happens?
You see, there are a number of things. One, if you look at these youth resource centers, when we, with a lot of pomp, broke the ground and we started building, did we have a funding plan for it? Each one was costing us $1.8 million. Each one. 5,000 seater, FIFA size standard pitch, basketball courts, volleyball courts, youth centers, blah blah blah.
Good idea.
Great idea. But did we have a funding plan for it?
Where to build how many?
Where to build 10.
10.
This was before we moved from 10 to 16 regions.
So give or take something around $80 million US. And that is what we could not find ready funding for as a people.
So now we are stuck.
Russia, Ukraine.
Russia, Ukraine, and we are here blowing money on all kinds of very unnecessary things.
So it's COVID, Russia, Ukraine war.
Yesterday, I saw CNR. They did a story about the return or the proposed return of the road tolls. The cameras went to these areas or spaces that were used previously.
Just left like that.
Bernard.
Sad. So we just left it.
In a space of 3 years or so, these spaces have deteriorated so badly that they have become a danger to people.
You can even put bailer trap and catch bailer inside some of them. It's serious. The Ashaiman, the Kaswa one, they just left.
And not long after, yours truly was in Rwanda. And you could see the pictures that he had brought from Rwanda and they were showing on Beyond Borders. And I was asking myself,
did we go, did we come?
Oh!
It's a sad matter. The issue of the public purse and protection of it is a very, very serious issue. And they will come back and say we should pay road toll again.
Meanwhile, the president said it that he's going to protect the public purse. This is not protection of the public purse. It's almost like
it's been treated with contempt.
Taking a knife and they've cut a big chunk of the purse and money is just falling out of it. what? This is money. We claim we claim we are poor. We claim we don't have money. We are doing DDEP. We've gone to the IMF for 3 billion. Meanwhile, the very simple things we can do to save the pairs and to protect the young people of this future, we are not doing. $1.8 million on 10 structures between 2018 and now. In 6 years, we've not completed even one that we.
And
are
we say
using.
that the cost has gone up. And in any event, Bernard, the cost of things, right? If you pay, if the dollar, what do you call it, the contract was secured in US dollars. What's this talk about? Cost of things have gone up, and so we need to do variation.
We haven't seen the contract.
But he's saying that I agree with you, but he said about in US dollars.
Yes,
right?
1.8 million.
Yes, if it's priced in dollar, it's not like the CD.
So maybe the dollar has gone up. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Citi Breakfast Show.
Unleash.
Urgency. The public purse needs to be protected. We must take the work of public office very seriously. Discussing issues around the sports ministry. Youth and sports minister explaining the I don't want to call it the Oslo visa debacle. I don't know what to call that. Also the issue around the hoteliers not being paid, and then the unfinished and possibly abandoned youth.
Yes, please. In the case of unexpected, the unexpected happens, how protected are you? Your business, school, shop, goods, home, and your cherished vehicles. What about your kids? The list go on. How do you get your investment back if the unexpected happens? Do you have a guarantee of your investment? Are you ready for a solution to these challenges? Join us at the AMA Gardens for this year's insurance fair from 24th to 26th July 2024 at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. It's free. This event is brought to you by the graphic business in partnership with the Ghana Insurance Association and sanctioned by the National Insurance Commission. And the season is upon us where the world's greatest athletes will all gather in Paris for the 2024 Olympics from 26th July to 11th August. DSTV will bring you the best coverage of every moment live and in HD via 8 dedicated channels. Tune in to catch our athletes Benjamin Azamati, Joe Paul Amwa, and our 4x100 relay teams as they take on the world's best and hopefully chalk some wins. So renew your subscription today by dialing *759# to follow the 2024 Paris Olympic Games only on DSTV. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Now, from the 14th to the 15th of August 2024, the Accra International Conference Center will be hosting the National Sales Leaders Conference on the theme Sales Unleashed, the role of sales in sustained organizational revenue growth and economic development. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, is the special guest of honor. Now, the event will focus on sales innovation, revenue growth, sustainable sales strategies, and sales leadership. If you are interested in attending, call or send a WhatsApp message to 050-271-1070 or visit nslaccra.org to register. NSLC is supported by Telecel and Star Oil. The Breeze app is here. You can get great rides and affordable delivery services. You can even shop and do all kinds of amazing things. So avoid the stress and use the Breeze app. Download it on the Google Play Store and the App Store and try it now.
All right, so messages coming through on the issues around the sports ministry. 054-998-6996. Caleb, please help us.
Bernard, from where I sit, I'm not sure there was no official complicit. Circa 2018, I was on the same flight with the Black Queens to a certain country. We got to Ethiopia and had to connect to the destination. While waiting, a gentleman who was on the team approached me when he realized I was also going to the same country. Guess what? He thought I could help him not return because that's the only reason he was part of the team. In fact, later the coach wanted me to help him because she was made to include the person. People use state-sponsored trips to smuggle other people out of the country. Anonymous one said that. Good morning, guys. So the minister was not told about the death of the coach as well since April. From Ato, good morning, guys. The president of the group should have first reported this issue to both the Foreign Affairs and the Sports Ministry instead of jumping from radio station to defend himself. Plus, the Sports Minister should have done this press conference with the Foreign Affairs Ministry and to come and do than to come and do damage control, which is really a shot in the foot. Good morning, team CBS. Generally speaking, Ghanaians are good and honest. However, if our leaders do not take responsibility or accountability for wrongdoing under their watch, it will end up corrupting the masses. Medsp from Dome. Good morning, City. So you see why the youth in the country will do whatever it takes just to leave or live outside the country. We don't have leaders. And it's from a shy man. So why not focus and complete the at least 5 projects with X amount rather than start and not complete 10 projects? You ask without adding your name. Interesting question.
Charlie, but if it's really true that the people who were supposed to go and bring the body run away, that's a whole new level. I mean, how?
They leave the dead.
The 4 who went to bring the dead, they said that the dead buried their dead.
Thank you.
No, this one.
It's not a good
But it's going to make it tougher to get visas, huh?
It's terrible.
Norway is going to really take a difficult decision around Ghanaian visa, and it's going to really affect them.
I think the posturing of the government on this must be firmer than we have seen.
Yeah.
In order to salvage our image. And some heads must roll. You know, something drastic must be seen to be done to save our collective image, because one thing you would hear from even air hostesses when you travel around, the moment you mention Ghana, they say, "Oh, Ghana." You know, we have that good name, we have that reputation. A few people should not soil it for us, and the government must salvage that reputation with this particular case, because this is one too many, honestly. And for a family dispatch to go for dead person,
we'll have to. Of course, these are things that Samson Dean is saying. We'll have to double check.
It sounds too preposterous to be true.
Pray it's not true.
I wanna rule my destiny.
And Grams Morgan, bringing time to 10 o'clock. Thank you for listening to the Thursday edition of Citi Breakfast Show. City News at 10 is next with Hawa Idrisu. Good morning, Hawa.
Good morning, Bernard.